mpira ulisha 2-2. They literally drew with Sunderland, a team that would be considered an underdog. Then Manchester United drew also 2-2 against let me just confirm. Man ulikuwa mnacheza na nani? Manchester United walikuwa wanacheza na Tote. Yes, they played with Tottenham. They also drew 2-2. It was quite the weekend. Tottenham Hotspurs. It's another team in the English Premier League. Yeah, so
Kenya.
Yes. So football wise, I can assure you a lot of disappointments this particular weekend. But of course there are those who also enjoyed their winnings as far as football is concerned. Another team that also for me was ilinipatia ma stress ni team inajiita Real Madrid. Niliwatch mpira bana, ulitoka 0-0, walikuwa wanacheza na Rayo Vallecano. This is the La Liga, the Spanish Premier League. Disappointments this weekend. Big teams that were expected to do big things, they ended up not doing so big things. But you know what? It's the game. It's called football. Kuna siku mnashinda, kuna siku mna draw, kuna siku mnatandikwa. We had it good last season, but this season we are being shown dust, and we are taking it humbly. Yeah?
Oh, you're not.
No, we are. How was your weekend?
My weekend was one of those rare weekends where it's eventful. I actually traveled. I went for a funeral.
Yes.
I lost a relative.
Poleni sana.
The relative comes from Vihiga, so went to help bury the relative.
Okay.
So, but I was told very specifically by the wonderful people who flew me there and back. I was not the only one on the plane. It's a passenger plane for paying passengers. So when I say flew me, don't get ideas that I chartered a plane. No. And they told me specifically, yes. We know who you are. You gave us a shout out. So I'm giving them a shout out. Skylink. Lovely service, professional, flew. You know, it's amazing.
Yep.
This Wilson Airport is becoming really popular.
It is. It has been popular for a while.
No.
But the popularity is increasing.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I was going to say, let me repeat what I said.
Yes.
It's becoming really popular. It's popular, but it's increasing. And you can see that by the number of flights that actually leave that airport. I am told it's one of the busiest airports on the continent.
Is it now? I wouldn't know.
Well, I am telling you.
Yes.
Remember all these charter planes that go to the Mara and Wapi. Hapo.
Was natoka hapo.
All these planes that do good work, Mozambique, not Lamu, it's called Somalia, South Sudan, hapo.
So we can consider Wilson as an international airport?
Yes, you can.
Okay. It's just that we're used to the big ones, the JKIAs the Mois.
But I'm talking about the frequency with which planes depart and the frequency with which they land. That airport is busy.
Okay.
It's very, very flying doctor service, blah, blah.
Hapo. Amref, wote wako hapo.
Hapo.
Okay.
So you can just keep counting.
I can imagine how busy such an airport gets.
Yes.
Especially during the festive season, like the one we're in right now.
Oh, it's going to get very busy.
Okay.
And remember, right now in this country, there are very few counties which don't have airstrips. And I don't mean a dirt path. I mean
like a proper
tarmac, everything. All the services that you get at an airport. It's just that it's not big, but they have them all over the country.
Yeah,
literally all over the country.
So you can fly to any part of this country.
Literally, yes. One would have to tell me where you can't fly to. Okay, you can. You can start from up north, coming down. Talking about Wajir, talking about Mandera, you're talking about Isiolo. Just keep coming.
Okay.
Meru, you just keep coming. Marsabit, keep coming. Okay. So, Kenya Airports Authority have done a good thing here. Now, what that means is there was evidence, empirical evidence that demonstrated the need not only to have that airstrip, but that there were people who were willing to fly. And to fly means to pay. Now, when you have commercial airlines flying there, they don't fly there for their own pleasure. They fly there because the business necessitates it. So it's a good thing. But once again, Prince Matu and the Skylink team, asanteni sana.
Tumewashukuru sana, mlipeleka CT vizuri na mkamrudisha vizuri.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Umesema hivyo stories za airport nikakumbuka. You know, I recently discovered, and by recently I mean like perhaps a year or two ago, that this country has got this very many airports or airstrips.
Tuko nazo nyingi bro.
Yes. And you'll discover when you check out some of these websites that are owned by these airports, airlines. Sorry, if you go to KQ, the KQ website, if you go to the Jumbo Jet, Safari Link, now that we may mention, if you go to their airports, you will see the destinations they fly to.
Yes.
And you'll be like, ala,
wait,
kumbe ninaweza enda Turkana.
Yes, you can.
Na ndege.
Oh, yeah, not only moja, nyingi. And the planes flying to Turkana are fairly sizable. I am speaking as somebody who's flown there. So this is not, I read, I am telling you. It's a nice airport.
And they have passengers who go there, and you can see they have several flights in a week.
Or they do. They land in Eldoret first, okay? Like stopover, okay?
Then they bounce again.
Yes. Beautiful
good stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely lovely.
Though some of those airports that we have, they need a perimeter fence because cows have a tendency of also wandering and sometimes.
So the plane has to come down first of all, ishtue ng'ombe watapakae, ndio sasa irudi, alafu sasa ipate nafasi ya kuland. Ama ndio Masai yaone anza kusema hello yo, toa ng'ombe pale ile ile ndege aenda kuja alale. All right. It's the 10th day of November 2025. Happy birthday, by the way, if you're celebrating your birthday today. We have it's the resolution. It is a World Science Day for Peace and Development. Yeah. It's a UNESCO resolution. It is World Science Day for Peace and Development. Good stuff. So if you're a scientist and your work is towards peace and development, well, this is the day we celebrate you. All those nuclear scientists, biotechnologists, biochemists, doctors, as long as you're in the science field and you're working towards peace and development, well, this is definitely a day to appreciate you. Don't stop a good morning. You're saying public goods belong to the people or the people the contracts to
start again
kidogo sijui kama ni mimi ama anyway, public goods belong to the people. The contracts to procure public goods, public interest is never inbuilt at all, hence can be voided. City, good morning. Masalimona Don.
Asante.
Haya, tuko naye John Mutu anasema good morning, my lovely TV show tuned nikiwa Doha. Tell City he looks smart today. Hot coffee from my bill. City, kofia imepatiwa another shout out. You look good today. Alafu amesema unywe kahawa kwa bill yake.
Basi.
Tumtumie till number ama namna gani?
No, wewe mwambie the next time tukimwona macho kwa macho. Bill ni yake.
But huyu jamaa ako willing kulipa saizi.
No, hiyo pesa yendi mahali. Hiyo pesa shawe kwa kando, brother.
John Mutoa, tukutumie pay bill ama till ama namna gani? Aya, so if you're tuning in on YouTube, you can give us a shout out. We'll definitely read out your comments. City, last week tulikuwa Carthage. Leo tuko pande gani as far as methali iko concerned?
I promised you that we're going to go to Cape Verde. Other than the Republic of Cape Verde.
Yeah, it's a West African island country.
Good man, good man.
Yes.
You have heard of the Canary Islands?
Yes, I have heard of the
You've
Canary
heard of
Islands.
Madeira?
I've heard of Madeira, yes.
You've heard of Savage Isles?
Hiyo hapana.
Bas, okay, ni hao tu. Azores
sijawasikia.
All right. They form part of what you call Amarconasia eco-region. Okay? These are island states. Into island. Meaning these islands pia ziko na volcanoes. Okay?
Ni kama tu venye kuna Maldives.
You've got it.
Seychelles.
You've got it.
All right.
It was actually part of the empire of the Portuguese when the Portuguese had empires. It has a capital called Praia. Watu wake si wengi vile. In fact, it's one of those few countries that ukiangalia diaspora ni wengi kushinda watu ambao wako ndani ya nchi. Okay?
Yes.
I will be telling you more and more about it. Tomorrow I'll tell you a little bit more about some of the famous people who come from Cape Verde.
Okay.
And why it is known.
All right.
Sio itakuwa mzuri?
Itakuwa fiti tena sana.
Utafurahia. All right. Sasa, wacha nikwambie proverbs.
Niambie.
Sawa. The best mirror to look at is your friend. I've paraphrased it, by the way. Yes.
The what now? Come again?
The best mirror to look at is your friend.
The best mirror to look at is your friend.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Lovely. The best mirror to look at is your friend. So if you look at your friend, you will know the kind of person you are.
So will we.
Yeah. And also, it's similar to that one that people wanasemanga, show me your friends and I'll tell you the kind of person you are.
But huyo tu.
Ndio hiyo sasa. Naipenda hiyo. So if you keep a company of bad people, evil people, stingy people, rich people, chances are you are part of that kind of character.
The rich, though, those ones carry a mixture of individuals. There are those who may actually genuinely be rich, but they live within an ecosystem. There are those who want to be rich. There are those who want to hang out with those who are rich. And there are those who want to give the impression they're rich.
Okay.
Right. So it's an interesting ecosystem.
Hi. Sawa sawa. 17 minutes past 6 o'clock. Wacha tuangalie watu wanasema nini katika rgk.co.ke, that is radiogeneration.co.ke. Are you tuned in? Well, if you are, you will definitely check out some of the first stories that are particular that are on the particular website. One of them being, let me see, top stories. We have report corruption during police recruitment exercise. To me, Murkomen amesema. So he has said that we can talk to him directly and tell him, bro, hapa kuna mtu anaitwa Siti Muga ameniambia nimpatie $500,000 ndio nipatue hii nafasi ya kuwa cadet. So the upcoming National Police Service recruitment set for November 17th, 2025 will be transparent and free of corruption. That is Interior Cabinet Secretary. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen.
At what stage of that entire process will it be free from corruption? Let's
find out. Speaking during a Sunday service at the PCA Church in Sotik Sub-County, that is yesterday, Murkomen pledged that the exercise meant to recruit 10,000 officers will not have any cases of malpractice. So the CS called on Kenyans to document and report cases of fraud and bribery during the exercise. So now, first of all, it's this coming Monday. That is when tarehe 17 itakuwa. That's when they are recruiting 10,000 officers.
Do they outlined the process and what it is that is required? Meaning, for instance, do we all know
where to
what it needs? What the fundamental requirements? Age that you need to be, and the cutoff limit, height that you need to be from 2 feet going onwards, male, female, devoid of certain diseases,
right?
All those things. Do they list so that even as we are determining, because corruption is multifaceted, we can look and say this person got a D. He doesn't qualify.
Okay.
Because you've said your minimum requirement is C-. Okay. This person, your requirement says you must have all teeth intact. But for purposes of uniformity, if you don't have 2, it is okay. And I can say this person has 4 teeth missing. So they do not qualify.
Okay.
That one.
It's a good question what you're asking. So let me just read one of the paragraphs here towards the very end. Minimum height has been set at 5'8". That is 5 feet 8 inches for men and 5 feet 3 inches for women. Recruits will undergo checks for flat feet. So flat feet. Sijui kama unafaa kuwa na flat feet ama unamaanisha nini. So recruits will undergo checks for flat feet. I'm assuming they don't want you to have flat feet.
Why? Okay, go on.
They'll also check limping, dental structure, eye function, including squinting and winking ability. I'm even winking right now to find out if I'm fit to be a police officer in this country. And then there's a arm stretch, so you have to stretch your arms.
Part of the services will require them to wink.
All right, yes. The presence of all fingers, so you need to have 10. If you have anything more or less, my friend, you're out. Knock knees. I'm sorry. Bow legs and any visible deformities on elbows. Do I have any deformities, City?
No, you don't have any, but I've just seen discrimination there.
Let me start again. Minimum height, 5'8" for men, 5'3" for women. Recruits will undergo checks for flat feet, limping, dental structure, eye function, including squinting and winking ability, arm stretch, the presence of all fingers, and I'm assuming also toes, knock knees, bow legs, and any visible
again, the
deformities
question
on
is,
elbows.
must you have knock knees?
You shouldn't
have knock knees.
Yes, so I think hizi vitu wanasema hapa, for example bow legs, hiyo si ni rickets, haufai kuwa na rickets. Kwa Kikamba tunazitanga matenge. Knock knees. Knock knees.
How does that disable you? How does it hinder you from doing what you're supposed to do?
I would really like to know. But like I said, I have relatives in the army, and I once asked one of them, what is this thing that they check, all teeth? Akaniambia, ukiingia lazima ukuwe na meno zote 32. Okay, so that in case during your line of duty you're injured and you lose a tooth, you are compensated by the army. This is now the army. About the police, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's probably the same reason why they check for all your teeth in the army and the police force. And then they also check for things such as scars. There are scars they wouldn't allow you to join the army.
Like which ones?
I don't know. Again, it's according to the relative I spoke to, probably boils down to compensation. So that ukienda huko Somalia,
so usianze kukuja useme mimi niajiri ni compensate, nimekuja na
I probably got this injury in the line of duty, and I've just reported late, but I need compensation for it. So I think perhaps these are some of the reasons. Do they take in people who have tattoos? I don't know. I think tattoos are out of the
I wouldn't know. But that would tell you how updated those requirements are.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned tattoo, it means it's been updated. What about rasta?
Yeah. Hiyo itabidi umenyoa.
Umeandikwa hapo?
Hapana.
Then how do you know?
Hiyo bro ni obvious.
Discrimination.
Umeiona polisi hata mmoja kuna rasta?
Doesn't mean they shouldn't have. What would be wrong with having a policeman with a rasta?
Well,
or a beard for that matter.
Beard haina shida, but unajua some of these things you have to demonstrate that you can be hygienic and neat.
Wait, what are you saying?
And then so let's assume uko na when Rastafari, right? Na uko pale vo Somalia, you're supposed to attack, or you're being attacked, by Al-Shabaab. So are you going to wake up, start grooming your hair first, or are you going to deal with these Al-Shabaab folks?
You clearly haven't had Rasta, so you're speaking about things you don't know.
No, I've seen people with Rasta.
Yes, so you think they spend the time preening themselves and determining how good they look.
Unasikia boom boom buko, so unaanza zile za bro, acha kwanza nishikilie nywele kidogo, ndio ni deal na my boys.
How do I look, guys?
Alafu every time you're in the bush, firing and guns, grenades, and God knows what, you're there flipping your hair, your Rasta to the side because it's getting into your face.
What movie did you watch this weekend, Keith?
Because Rastas,
no, I don't.
Zinakujanga na different shape sizes and styling. Kuna zile zimestyliwa nyuma, kuna zile zimestyliwa zimeshikiliwa hivi certain designs.
Kuna zingine zimesimama kama spike.
Alafu kuna zile kama za Bob Marley. They just grow like a tree and they fall on either side, including your face. Did you see how Bob Marley used to perform? He used to perform like when he's doing iron, like a lion. So you can imagine you're there in the bush fighting other lions.
So essentially what you're trying to suggest is that if KDF employed people with rastas, then the bush fighting and firing, whatever it is that they have, and in your mind, there's this song playing through their mind.
Yes.
Iron.
Like a
lion
in Zion.
And they're in the bush.
Yes. So basic requirements.
You have a very slanted view.
Basic requirements for police recruitment in Kenya.
Yes. Citizenship
must be a Kenyan. Identification must possess a valid Kenyan national identity card. Age must be between the ages of 18 and 28 years old. But then guys, this is Google. It's not like the official one. So you can confirm this if you indeed want to go for recruitment. But you have to be between the ages of 18 and 28. Physical fitness must be physically and medically fit. So CTU and I, we can't.
Just wait.
Openje anaweza.
Because of what? Why can't we?
Number one, age imesha tukataa.
Age, I understand. What else?
Vitambi zimekataa pia.
I don't have a kitambi like yours.
Physically fit, you nayo imekataa.
I'm fitter than you.
You think so?
I know so.
CT, I see you walking in the office,
And I also see you breathing as though you're going to collapse up one flight of stairs.
Let's go to the next story. Let's just go to the next story. Hapa hivi ninatusiwa in my own. Oh yeah, they also don't want you to be pregnant.
That one, you and I can't qualify.
Oh my goodness. Academic qualification KCSE grade, a minimum overall mean grade of D+. This is for iko hapa amini kusoma nasoma.
Do you know why I am laughing?
So
you talked about it earlier on. Kumbe it says
and a minimum of D+ in either English or Kiswahili. Kwa hivyo kama uko na hizo nenda kakue recruited. Kakue karao tusumbue hapa kwa barabara. Now the next one is about Somalia. Somalia calls on regional MSMEs to invest, trade in the country. This is by Samuel Otieno. So the Federal Republic of Somalia has declared its doors open for business, inviting micro, small and medium enterprises from across the East African community to invest, trade and collaborate in building a prosperous regional economy. Speaking during Somalia Day at the ongoing 25th East African Communities MSMEs Trade Fair at Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi, the country's Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation, Mohamed Abdi Hayir, reaffirmed his government's unwavering commitment to the EAC integration agenda and to create a vibrant, inclusive business environment for entrepreneurs. Yeah, so Somalia is strategically located as a natural gateway connecting East Africa to the Middle East and Asia, making it an ideal hub for regional trade and investment. You know, I told you we hosted the Somalia ambassador here a while back, His Excellency Jabril. Now, we spoke a lot. It was a 2-hour conversation. We spoke about trade and investment. We spoke about the culture of the Somali people, and we also spoke about the East Africa community and the integration and how in other ways we could connect with Somalia. And I can tell you, he spoke of opportunities from here to Timbuktu. Spoke about tourism, something I never thought was happening in Somalia at the time when we spoke. Because you know what we read in the news, what we see even on social media, really about Somalia has not been that positive. Of course, there are a few positives here and there, but I think this is a really good idea in terms of when they organize such a day, where you have this day where you can just go and see what the Somali people have to offer, the Somali community, the businesses there, the opportunities that you can get in there. That would actually be an awesome thing. And especially if you can tap into that market before other people tap into it, then that means that you're one of the pioneers as far as some of the businesses. And I think Kenyans are very entrepreneurial, and we we know our skills very well. So you can imagine getting in there mapema. Wouldn't that be something?
Kabisa.
It would be something. So kama wewe ungependa kwenda Somalia, well, you know where to find them. Na sio Isili peke, they're all over by the way. One last story before we move on. Here is a story about Kalonzo. Amesema African leaders must stop treating protesters as criminals and terrorists. Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has urged African leaders to respect citizens' rights to peaceful protests, saying the wave of youth-led demos sweeping across the continent reflects a renewed spirit of Pan-Africanism and not rebellion. And guess what? It's just not the continent. It's the world over. It's across the globe. We can't say zile shida zilikuanga Nepal ati huko ni Africa. This is a global thing. During the time kulikuanga na the struggle for multipartyism in Kenya, was that witnessed in other African countries during the same time?
There's always a precursor. You will find that the events may not happen at exactly the same time, but they're intertwined. For instance, something monumental like the coming down of the Berlin Wall. It was physical. Okay? Meaning, if you're in East Germany, you could literally just walk into West Germany. Something that had been dreaded, people had died. A lot of things had happened. Now, it marked the beginning of very many things.
Okay.
Because the East versus West thing now just went poof, puff, as in smoke. So suddenly, one massive world power emerged. It's called the USA. And they reigned supreme for a very long time. That power is now diminishing. Now, with the advent of the 21st century came what we call the information age. Now that puts us on a very equal footing. People tend to know what they know when they know it in real time. So it's a question of how much interest you have. So when something is wrong in one country, it is very difficult for you to hide it from another. Okay? Just look at our neighbor across the fence on this other side here and the issues they had with their elections. When we were going through the birth pangs of these issues, they were not. They had a president who said, guys, I'm stepping down. He became chairman of CCU and then also retired from that. They had a hierarchy, people came in and they changed.
Yeah.
Ours, the clause that enabled us to have a multi-party system was revoked. Was put in place. It was revoked. It began, and ours was noisy. It was very, very noisy. But everybody came in, and the processes that led to the 2010 Constitution and to what we have now, and the rights that people, as you can see, are beginning to understand. Why am I giving this background? The clamor and the uniformity with which you're seeing actions is people coming of age and understanding we actually do have rights. And these rights are being abrogated, and we are not going to allow it. The not allowing it bit is what makes you see what we see.
The demos
and what have you, and saying, guys. And then when you have a leader who is determined that there shall be no change, they're the ones who send the security to cause harm to the protesters, shoot. You know, if you shot somebody who was stealing, we'd still tell you should have arrested that person. You don't need to shoot them.
Yes.
None of these cases do we hear of somebody who was shot while he was carrying a TV on his head which wasn't his. Okay? So the signs are clear. And if it's happening around the world, it is what you call a season of change.
Yeah.
And if you don't see it from a local perspective, if you don't mirror what's happening internationally to a local, my friend, you'll be out in the cold.
Yeah.
You cannot be involved in politics at this time and this in this age we're in if you're not alive and tuned into what's happening. Forget this wind of change that Macmillan spoke of in 1954 in Cape Town. No. This one is not a wind of change. This is a wave of change. Yes.
Sawa. There we have it. Let's check out what's happening as far as the traffic is concerned.
Traffic.
All right, so I'm checking out this thing called the map of Nairobi, and Nairobi is not looking bad at this particular minute. It is only 26 minutes to the top of the hour, so you can assume that things are going to get murky and muddy later on as far as traffic is concerned. But Jogoo Road, kuna the usual suspects pale vo Makadara, mmeshikamana kidogo, but hiyo ni kawaida, mshazoea pale mnasonga. Landis Road also pale karibu na Ena Coach booking and parcels office, that ka stretch all of it right now, bumper to bumper. Then but these are people who are traveling out of the city, which is not bad. Like I told you earlier on, also you're experiencing some issues pale hivyo hiyo barabara kuingia Kiambu as you're exiting for that particular area, joining the super highway. Of course, that one is going to be bumper to bumper right now, and then it opens up after Pangani, but the rest of the city is looking good. If you see something on the road you think I should know, well, you know where to find me.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
City, there's a super fan of yours. He's called Ahmed, asking, what is that thing that CT is wearing on his head? So I have told them that you told us earlier on that imetoka Papua New Guinea.
PNG. Yes.
Does it have a name?
It does.
What's the name of that coffee?
I have forgotten.
You forgot.
No, the name is not I have forgotten. I am saying that I have forgotten what it's called. Please.
I get you, bro.
Yes.
I get you. But umesahau jina lake, sivyo?
Yes.
So this is someone clearly who knows about Papua New Guinea. Amesema it's one of the most culturally diverse countries in the world with over 800 known languages spoken. That is among them, of course, English, Tok Pisin, and Hirimotu. Some of the official languages we have in Papua New Guinea.
Oh, it's right. Believe me, it is diverse and mountainous.
Papua New Guinea, yeah.
Yes, and they've retained very many of the cultural norms that they've had all over the years.
Yes. I've actually watched a couple of videos of those folks, and specifically on matters to do with food. Those guys like their wild hogs. and they cook them quite well. Papua New Guinea for you. Alright, tuingie katika magazeti. Kuna front page hapa hivi ya Daily Nation. Wamesema abductions, how Museveni caved in. Here we have very good intelligence. We know them. They have been with us. I have their names. They came and they were working with Chagulanyi's group. They are experts in chaos. This is according to the president of Uganda. He's talking about Bob Njagi and activist Nicholas Oyo. So you can see this page on 2 and 3. You know, he said that they came in and they actually are experts in a chaos, in a riots. How can someone be an expert in riot?
You can. It means you are a good mobilizer.
Yes. But specifically riot. Unajua kuna ile najua kumobilize watu, unajua kuambia say kujeni pale Uhuru Park, we can meet there, and you know I know how to speak to them and probably even tell them now we are moving from Uhuru Park, we are going towards Ngong Road, or we are going towards Mombasa Road. But organizing someone being an expert in riots, and because you know a crowd ni ngumu sana kuwa control, especially wakisha cheesy. Let me use that word.
What they do is they unleash the crowd and then let the crowd do their thing. There are people who are good at mobilizing. It means there are people whom those crowds listen to.
Yeah.
So if they say,
I know you can organize people to create chaos. Like you can say, you know, you can tell Kenyans, the public, let's meet at Uhuru Park. But now you within the groupings in Zambia, you can get some random people and tell them now I want you to start causing chaos on Uhuru Highway. You cause chaos on Ngong Road. Then you cause chaos on Kenyatta Avenue. So that night the capital can look like it's on fire. Do you think these folks can actually do that? Nicholas and Bob Njagi.
I do not know these fellows well. I know of them because they appear to be freedom fighters with the red berets and what have you. But remember, I have learned not to dismiss the things people say, even if I don't fully understand it. For the simple reason, just like we have an intelligence service, so do the Ugandans. Just like we have intelligence services within Uganda, so do they in our country. And the same works in Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania.
All over the world.
We are like that. We have people who work in our intelligence services, but they are in our neighboring countries, and they also have the same. So the information gatherers everywhere. So I do not know where it is they've gathered the information from, but I would not be dismissive of the things that the president of Uganda is reported to have said.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's possible their intelligence in Kenya called them and told them, boss, now Bobu Njagi and Nicholas Oyo are coming there. Get ready for them. Get ready for some serious chaos. So the Daily Nation says, boost school infrastructure. Head teachers now demand. This story is on page 6. Yeah. Capture chairperson Fuad Ali addresses head teachers yesterday. Tribulations. We were arrested in Tanzania simply for being Kenyan. This story is on page 4. Wanasema hivi, after spending 8 days in the cell at Oyster Bay Police Station in Dar es Salaam, 2 Kenyans who were released after government intervention told the story of the torture they went through. Hi, that is as far as the nation is concerned. Front page of the Standard wanasema Trinity of Terror. When Uganda's Yoweri Museveni admitted that 2 Kenyans had been tortured while in his country's custody, he unwittingly fanned the flames of repression spreading across East Africa. Once seen as the region's elder statesman, Museveni now speaks as the world still reels from the bloodshed that accompanied Tanzania's October 29th election that handed President Suluhu total victory and a new reputation for strong arm rule. In Kenya, the soil has barely settled over the graves of slain youths while others remain missing. East Africa is fast beginning to resemble the 1930s Europe of Adolf Hitler, Benito Mussolini, and Ion Antonescu. Or is it Ion Antonescu? You know, I watched a small excerpt, a small video rather, of President Ruto having a conversation with the Al Jazeera journalist. I'm forgetting his name, but he was asked, what do you think of the elections in Tanzania? He said, bro, I am not here to judge Tanzanians and how they run their business, but I do not know of a place, a democracy, where you can get 97% of the vote. That is our very own president saying that, hey bro, hata kama nini mbaya kama mbaya bro, mimi sijui stories za Tanzania, sitaongelelea Tanzania, lakini ni ngumu sana kupata 97% of a vote.
You know exactly
in a
right.
democracy.
You know exactly right.
Oh yes, yeah. And even gave our own example, a country as an example. He said in Kenya you will get perhaps somewhere around 50%.
Yes.
Between 50 to 60 utapata.
Yes.
Beyond that, my friend, is a problem. Yeah. So that's him. And I was watching that clip and I was like and then the journalist went on to ask him, so you think the election in Tanzania? He said, no bro, those are your words. This is now the president telling this journalist, those are your words. Mimi sijasema Tanzania hawakufanya haki yao.
I have told you.
Yeah.
I do not know of any democracy.
Yes. He was like, me, I'm not the one running the elections in Tanzania, but what I can tell you for free, 97 ngumu.
Wezi.
And I'm sure probably President Samia was just sitting somewhere watching that clip like, this guy.
Ukaka vipi tena?
Bro, bana.
One of guessing my best, bana.
But anyway, that is that. Because the journalist was trying to corner him, perhaps even to ask him, why aren't you, questioning your sister in Tanzania, the president, and just calling her out? He was like, that's not my place.
There are things which happen, adverse in manner as they are.
Yeah.
They paint you in a good light, then you realize we're not doing badly, guys.
Yeah.
If this is what our brothers are doing here, we are not doing badly.
32 million people. 31 million out of 32 million voted. Bro.
Questions were asked about the time when they counted the votes. There were issues that were raised about the internet connectivity, lights, what have you. I actually feel sad.
Yeah.
It didn't have to go this way.
I agree.
And I am not pointing any finger at Madam Sulu. No. It's at CCM. Those people within CCM are the ones who push this agenda in this direction. That is not a government where the president has the final say.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. Not in Tanzania. They pushed this agenda. And she's the face of it. So she's the one who's having to take the blows. But it's a CCM affair. I listened to some interviews of some Vigogo of CCMs being interviewed by young journalists.
Yeah.
I have never seen ruder people in my life. Well, I'm thinking, hey, yeah. The guy's asking a valid question. And you are more or less barking at this person and shouting at this person. And I'm thinking, you are telling us that you do not like to be questioned. You are telling us that because you're an older person, then your views must automatically be correct. And the fellow was not questioning the correctness. The fellow was just asking you, what is your opinion? And because you didn't want to give your opinion, when you want to answer the question, you veered off completely and talked about how you young people, do you know the difficulty we had in raising this country? Do you know how we got here? And I'm thinking, guy, you're fighting this guy. This guy's question was not even intrusive.
Yeah.
But then I realized, no, I'm a Kenyan, aren't I?
You are.
Yes. And we approach these things rather differently. Yes.
It's true.
So I removed those lenses and put on new lenses. Then I looked again. No. I will not point a finger at Madam Suluhu. I will point a finger, if I'm to point a finger, at CCM. Which means I better not plan to go to Tanzania soon.
I was actually hoping to take my person to Zanzibar, lakini anyway,
Zanzibar tofauti.
Najua.
Yeah, and you will land in Zanzibar. You do not need to go to mainland Tanzania. Yes. And you will leave from Zanzibar and go wherever you want to go. Kuna
other locations, kuna other destinations.
I agree. Sumpeleke Lamu.
Kuna Madagascar. Madagascar lakini sio wako sawa. Naweza mpeleka Lamu pia.
Lamu mzuri sana. But just Trizex mpeleke Malindi.
But nilikuwa nataka kumpeleka mahali ambapo si Kenya. Nje ya nchi.
I see.
Lakini destinations ziko nyingi. Hata hiyo Seychelles ulitaja hapo awali.
There are very many destinations. Yes. But anza na Watamu. Watamu nzuri sana.
Tumetembea hii coast, tumeitembea sana hii ya Kenya.
Hata Watamu.
Okay, sijafika Watamu kusema kweli. Sijafika, wacha nisi.
Weka hela bwana.
hela sio shida kakablaza. Shida sio hela. No, shida ni wakati.
Wajua nilikuwa nataka kugusia. Kuna mahala. Anyway, tutaongea baadaye.
Sawa. Kuna kitu hapa nilikuwa nisome. It's from President Yoweri. 2 Kenyans were arrested. They have been with us. I am not able to remember their names. They are working with Kiagurani's group that they are experts in riots. Of course, with our very good intelligence, we picked them up and they have been in the fridge for some days. Now, some Kenyan leaders rang me and said I should hand them back or I put them in jail. Some Kenyan leaders told me, they called me and they told me, you know me, I honestly see, and let me tell you something. If there's one thing I appreciate, is the fact that our leaders, specifically president, wanaongeanga poa sana. Wanaongeanga kuna kaheshima fulani wanakuanga wamepatia citizens. Utasikia wakisema vijana wanakimbia huku na jaribu kuuliza wanataka nini, hawasemi. That's our president. Wanasema must go where, then ikishaenda alafu unajua he asks some legit questions that if he were one on one with these protesters he'd probably ask. And you remember that time he did the X space, he went live and Kenyans walimwambia vitu chafu and the president listened the entire time. I highly doubt that would happen with someone like President Museveni. I highly doubt that would happen with someone like President Samia. Iyo bro ni ngumu. Where someone shouts at the president, ngumu. And he listens and he's like, okay, nimesikia. Haya, sawa. Next anaingia. Haya, nimekusikia. Next. Hey. And anyway, what I'm saying is you can't compare.
No, you can't. No, you can't. In fact, there are people who think these presidents of ours are not okay. But you see, but the thing is, you must work out your own democracy with fear and trembling. I know it's salvation, but this is how we are going through the process of working out our democracy. Okay? And at every phase, the death of Raila Odinga marks the beginning of a new phase.
True.
Because then the phase will be characterized by the alignments that we'll have, even the conversations. But the thing that I find tragic, though, with our politics, these people who want to vie for leadership don't tell you how they're going to fix the country. No. They tell you what the president is doing. And the reminder, we live here, we know what's happening. You know, it's not as though we visit this country at night and by midday we are off to wherever it is we live. We live here every day. And we see the problems and we know the problems. And anyone who wants to claim leadership must tell us how they plan to solve the problems. Yes. And if someone tells you, oh, you know, we don't want to say it because it's now secret, we'll tell you the last time. So you are willing to let us continue suffering because you're waiting for the right time. So you don't really want to lead, do you? Or you're telling us, well, if we say this, someone may pick it up. Now that is the litmus test right there that you failed. If you really want the citizens to be helped, do you care who implements it? Should you care who implements it? No. If you have a solution, say it. If this government picks it up, we'll know you are the ones who said it. You said it, we know. If they take credit for it and we're benefiting. When someone says they have a solution, they never tell you everything. The key bolts and nuts that are required to tighten that whole system, you usually have it in your head. And it's only you who knows how to navigate it. So until these wannabe leaders who want to be presidents tell us exactly what they're going to do, if I were to talk to the citizenry, I dismiss the whole lot of them. They have to tell you in concrete terms where it's hurting. This is what we want to do, and the proof that it works is this. This is what we are going to do. The proof that it works is this. Yes. In the absence of that, I don't listen to this.
Kidogo itakuwa tricky.
Awacha.
Shika usome nini iko kwa Star. Nakumbuka tu even President Moi, as tough as he was, bado alikuanga humble, alikuanga tu ametuliani. He was laid back, manzi hakuanga na stress yote.
We've been blessed in that way in this country.
President Moi, Kibaki, President Kenyatta, President President now Ruto.
Yep.
All right. 20 kazi.
You want me to look at the headlines, don't you?
Yes, please.
The headlines are interesting. Industry players fear losing to more affordable competing markets. All right? Multiple fees to hurt Kenya's tourism appeal. Protesters march against the newly introduced 5% gateway fee transaction for the KWS pay system on November 5th. This is about tourism. It's bang in the middle of the paper, and there's a picture of people protesting with their fists in the air and chanting something or the other. Okay? Right. Ruto accuses opposition of dragging Kenya back to as XDP dismisses first world ambition. This is an interesting story. It's on page 9. And what is being dismissed is President Ruto's assertion that, you know something, this thing of that somebody is telling us they're going to take us to the first world.
Yeah.
Pipe dream. President William Ruto has accused the opposition of holding back the country's progress through negativity and lack of vision. Really. Speaking on Sunday at ACK All Saints Cathedral Church in Maralal, Samburu County, Ruto said the opposition had refused to believe in Kenya's potential to become a developed nation. I see many people who do not believe in our country, many who are negative about Kenya. If you're a leader in Kenya and doesn't believe in this country, or have a meaningful plan to change it, goodness gracious me, why is he saying what I've just said? Your words are all negative. Instead of reading it, why don't I just say what's in my head? Anyway, Ruto's comments came amidst increasing criticism from the opposition led by impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and Wiper political party leader Musyoka Kalonzo. During a service at this place, Gachagua dismisses Ruto's pledge to elevate Kenya to a first world country. I hear Ruto saying he has a plan to elevate Kenya to a first world country within 3 years. Gachagua said. He didn't say 3 years. No.
He said how long?
I don't remember him giving a time. Gachagua said, adding that the country lacks the fundamentals such as for such an ambitious transformation. He's actually wrong there. He cited strained education system, struggling healthcare sector, harsh business environment as indicators Kenyans are moving in the opposite direction away from progress. Everything that he says was there when he was deputy president. I am always at odds with people who have this idea of talking about a government that is horribly, terribly bad only after they've left it.
Yeah.
Or when the government has left them. I personally refuse to buy those stories.
Yeah. No. Okay.
If you are to be believed while you're still in there, say it so that we can hear it. Yeah.
And say it loudly.
No, say it very loudly, so that we can also hear you loudly.
And clearly.
So that when you leave, we know this person used to say this.
Yeah.
But not you've left, then you're telling us. And telling us that it is not possible. How do you think the other countries that became developed? They imagined what they wanted to become and then set about the process of what it would take to get them there. But you have to imagine it. Yes.
True story. Back page of the Daily Nation says this: Gor Mahia gunned down, police shoot to top of league table. Walitandika watu 0-2 jana. This game was being played yesterday. Newcastle's miserable away form continues with loss at Brentford. Again, matters football. Alcaraz in winning start at ATP Finals. Back page of the Daily Nation. Last but not least, Menengai Oilers make big statement with victory over Nondis in Impala floodlit tournament. You know, sometimes naonanga ni kama watu wamesahau rugby in this country.
When do umesahau?
Ndio nimesahau and I like the fact that nowadays we're having corporates really sponsoring teams or even sponsoring their own teams into these sports whatevers, and it's a good thing from football to rugby and perhaps other sports where I'm yet to see, but good stuff. Back page of the Standard. Arteta unhappy with how Arsenal conceded after draw at Sunderland. Avali draw. Atletico and Villarreal win to keep pressure on La Liga leaders. It's a good thing. So if you're a buff of sports, you can check that out on the back page of those papers. Shout out to Nani Joel Odondi anasema Odondi, Joel, Good morning. We are watching from Kansas. I like the people who prefer to be rich.
Amesema kitu kingine hapo?
No. Full stop.
Okay, good for you, Joel.
I like the people who prefer to be I think everyone prefers to be rich.
Maybe that's the point he's making.
Very few people wouldn't want to be rich.
Nobody sits on a path and say, I am determined to be poor. No, it doesn't work out that way.
Poverty is a bad thing, manze. Poverty.
Mazee kitumbovu.
Unajua si lazima ukuwe ati super rich, but ni vizuri kuwa tuna kakitu pesa. Unajua ukitaka, if you want to travel, you can just chomoa your cash and travel, as opposed to you are broke and you have no option whatsoever.
Mazee ni mbaya.
Nell says, good morning fam. Good morning to you, Nell. Benedict Magero, did City just say that the minimum height is 2 feet?
No. I was giving...
You were asking anything from 2 feet, like where...
And then you qualified and said, okay, for men it is 5.8, women it is 5.3.
Yes.
You said so.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you qualified. The 2 feet was for example.
Benedict Magero, would you like to be a police officer? Joel Odonde Merudi amesema, do you know anyone who has been compensated for loss of tooth? I believe this is in regards to the police thingy. I honestly don't know.
No, I don't know either. It's in there are certain things which are in line of duty.
Yeah.
A tooth or two, hiyo tu ni job.
I actually think unaweza compensate.
Yes, you can. It depends on how they're insured, because it's not a question of just being paid. You have to be insured for those things.
Yeah.
Like you, who is a personality, you can insure your voice. So if you go somewhere and they give you some ice cream and your voice freezes, you can sue them.
And also, companies usually have something called workplace insurance, whereby if for people like me and you now, if you get hurt while in the studio or while in the line of duty, a journalist...
It's a government requirement.
Yes, for example, Larry Madovi nyanakwanga huko kikimbiza, you know,
it's a government requirement. That's fundamental, and you're paid in the event of an injury. Yes. However, there are institutions that take additional cover for their workers, depending on the specific nature of the work. If, for instance, I'm a keyboard player,
yes,
I will insure my fingers, because in the absence of my fingers, I can't work.
Yeah. So sasa zile unakuanga jikoni pale ukipika sausage alafu uchomeke
shida bro. Or if you're a runner, you would insure your legs.
Yeah.
Specifically your ankle, your knee. And I know it sounds odd, but without those limbs, you will not be able to run.
Do you know without the big finger, you can't run?
Without the big finger, I can't run.
The big toe, yes.
Bro, you know you got me worried there for a second.
Without the big toe, itakuwa ngumu kukimbia.
As I said, those are now specific insurances.
Yeah.
Okay? But even if you take insurance of any form, say an accident insurance, they will outline for you what will be compensated if you lose an ear, a nose, an arm, and so forth and so forth.
All right.
Yes.
Then we also have nani hapa, Norbert Owora amesema, good morning Buvi and Uncle City. It's really good to see you. We thank God. Norbert, thank you. We also thank God for you. Kuna mtu hapa anaitwa my family has walked in. Tindis Mungala. Tindis is my aunt, amesema good morning City and San Paul aka Ayesta Soma. Hizi ni majina.
Okay, come on, endelea.
Hizi ni majina za nyumbani bwana. Hey, my family just embarrassing me.
Bwana susome wamesema nini?
Michael Olanda amesema the demonstration reminds me of clamor for trousers in schools in 1990 after Form 6 left. The demonstrations remind me of clamor for trousers in schools in the 90s after the Form 6 left.
You take it for granted that all children go to school wanavaa longi.
Yeah.
Walikuwa kuvaa kaptula.
Okay. I also wore a kaptula nikiingia Form 1.
Yes, ndio ile school ulikuwa unasoma.
Nairobi school.
Ile karibu na Kangemi ile.
Yeah, ndio hiyo sasa. Yes. Nairobi school Form 1 and Form 2 mnavaanga shorts, but on weekends, specifically Sunday, and when you're going outside school maybe for a function, you're allowed to wear trousers. But on any other day, shorts.
Yes.
Bro, ile baridi inakuanga hiyo area.
Utazoea tu. Ulikuwa unazoea.
Unajua kuna time
and then you give it time, you just grow hair on your legs, so it's good.
Wacha tuingie kwa news kidogo. When we return, of course, I will be telling you what we used to do as far as baridi ikifika wakati wa kuoga, how we used to do it. But don't go too far, we'll be right back.
Radio generation, the sound is fine, pump it up, turn it high, all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The upcoming police recruitment exercise on November 17th will be corruption-free and full transparent. This is a pledge by Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. He says the exercise aims to add 10,000 officers into the service. The CS has invited the public to volunteer as observers to ensure fairness, calling for Kenyans to report any cases of bribery or malpractice to authorities.
Wale pia wanabeba pesa kununua wale recruiting officers, ndio mwenye maskini apotee na mwenye ako na pesa apate kazi, tutawashika. Na mimi nataka community mjitolee jameni kuwa na observers. Tumesema hiyo exercise iishe by saa 11. Ikiisha by 5 majina ya wenye walipatikana itangazwe, na mwenye anapebana na pesa, I want the support of the community. Mko na masimu siku hizi, kwa nini mnapiganga sisi masimu? Simpige wale wanapeana pesa masimu.
Police have arrested 2 suspects said to have been involved in a series of highway robberies along Eldoret-Malaba Highway. The arrests follow an operation led by officers from Matete and Webuye police stations. According to police, the 2 are believed to be part of a ruthless gang that has been preying on innocent motorists in a series of late-night ambushes that left travelers terrified and property lost. During interrogation, the suspects led officers to their hideouts along Rivanzoia and Nabuyole village, where cache of stolen goods was recovered. President William Ruto has criticized leaders who spread negativity about Kenya's progress, calling them regressive. Speaking during a chat service in Samburu County, the president urged political leaders to stop undermining the government's development agenda, warning that such actions hinder national progress. He further appealed to Kenyans to have faith in his administration's vision, emphasizing that a progressive nation thrives on unity and shared purpose.
I see many people who don't believe in our country. I see many people who are negative about Kenya. I see many people who confess negative things about our country. And I want to tell you, the citizens of Samburu, as I tell the citizens of Kenya, we have a country like no other. We have a great country. We have a blessed nation. We must work for it, believe in it, believe in God, believe in ourselves, and believe in our country. That is how Kenya is going to move forward.
The government of Somalia has declared its open doors for business, inviting micro, small, and medium enterprises from across the Eastern African community to invest, trade, and collaborate in building prosperous regional economy. Speaking during Somalia Day at the ongoing 25th East African Community MSMEs Trade Affair at Uhuru Gardens, Nairobi, the country's Agriculture Minister Mohamed Abdi reaffirmed his government's commitment to the EAC integration agenda and to create an inclusive business environment for entrepreneurs.
So it's a great day for Somalia, it's a great day for Somali business communities and the companies who are here integrating with the East African community companies. We thank you to the Kenyan government for its traditional welcoming and hosting of this great forum of the East African community, and we thank you to the East African Community Secretariat who actually done very good job, and we are very glad. As the youngest nation of East African community, we are glad how we are moving fast to integrate our brothers and sisters in the East African community.
Typhoon Fongwong has made landfall in the Philippines, where more than 900,000 people have been evacuated and 2 have died. The storm was upgraded to a super typhoon before landfall with sustained winds of around 185 km per hour. The country's Met Department warned of destructive winds and high risk of life-threatening and damaging storm surge as the typhoon moves northwesternly across Aurora province in Luzon. Fongwong comes after days of an earlier storm. Kalmaegi left devastation and nearly 200 people dead. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast, curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights, Radio Generation.
Oh, yes, indeed. We are back. It is 7 minutes past 7 o'clock. My name is Mungala Movie. Shout out to a few. Let me read. Kuna vitu ndio hapa nilikuwa nimeacha zikiwa hanging. So, Michael Olande, good morning. Demonstration remind me of clamor for trousers in schools in 1990. Well, pia ilikuwa tunavaa shorts. And then we have him telling us the stretch hapo karibu na KPCU, that is Ena Coach, has a huge pothole. And that's what is causing the traffic. Well, thank you for that update. Na ameniambia niende Takawiri Island if I want to take my significant other to a nice exotic place.
You get to Mbita.
Yes.
Sasa ukishakuwa Mbita na Mbita Point,
yes.
Sasa unataka kwenda Mfangano.
Naam.
The island you get to before you get to Mfangano is called Takawiri. It actually has white beaches.
Like white what I would have in Mombasa.
Bro, forget that brown water which the Tana River brings to your part of the world.
Right.
White.
Takawiri Island.
Takawiri Island.
All right.
Okay.
I get there by boat.
You go there by boat unless you can walk on water. And then ukitoka Takawiri unaenda Mfangano. Ukienda further in unaenda mali inaitwa Remba. Ukienda further unaenda sasa mali inaitwa Ringiti. Those are all islands.
Okay. All right.
And they're all in Homa Bay County.
Umesema Takawiri
Takawiri ndio mambo yote.
Takawiri it is. Welcome back. This is Radio Generation. The time right now is 8 minutes past 7. And this is the People's Breakfast. Speaking of which, we do have a person who speaks to the people. He's a human rights lawyer and a member of the African Judiciary's Research Network. He's here to talk about Tanzania elections aftermath. And indeed, the question is, are African leaders missing the point? Karibu sana Evans Ogada to Radio Generation.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
It's my maiden visit and good to be here. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk a bit about Judiciary's Research Network. What is it all about?
Well, this is an association of scholars globally from Africa and some from the global north. And we specialize in research and analysis about various aspects of the judiciary, independence, accountability, and such kind of things. So I'm a member there. Alongside a number of scholars. We are headed by a scholar based in the UK, and it's an organization that is about 2 years old. So let's see what it will do for us in Africa in terms of changes.
All right.
Yes.
There's a word you mentioned here and I've heard so many times, especially on TV, sazile kuna shida ya election petition.
Yes.
Jurisprudence.
Yes.
Yes, what is that?
Jurisprudence is basically the theory of law. You see, law has what my uncle CT will say, a tripod, this traditional African stool. We have 3 legs in law.
Yes.
So jurisprudence, the theory of law, is one of those legs. So we have what we call the what, that is the law that is created in parliament, and what is declared in court, that is the law, the what. Then we have the why. How do you present your case? That is what we call the procedural law. Then the theory, jurisprudence. Why is law the way it is? Why is X the way it is? So there are a lot of theories, and that is jurisprudence in its wider sense. Then in its narrow sense is basically, jurisprudence is basically what the courts say the law is. So it has the broad sense and the narrow sense.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Bado sijaelewa lakini nimeelewa.
Utaelewa kidogo.
But thank you for that definition.
Thank you, sir.
Let's talk about Tanzania. Our president, I think it was yesterday or the day before, he was having a conversation with Al Jazeera, and the journalist asked him what he thought of the elections in Tanzania, and he said, well, in a democracy you wouldn't have the winner having 97%. And it has been said before, I mean, the president wasn't the first person to say it, but it has been said before that in a democracy or in any election, it's very difficult to have someone win with such a margin. Do you agree with the president?
Well, I think the president has his finger on the pulse. And whenever you find those kind of margins, it usually points to an unhealthy state of affairs. I will want to point your listeners. There's a book that has been written by a friend of ours, Professor Nick Cheeseman and Brian Klass. Those two professors have a book called How to Rig Elections. And they point to about 6 methods of rigging elections. When you read Cheeseman and Klass, every of these countries that return 80-70% have a pattern of repression and manufacturing of election results. So the president has his finger on the pulse. How I wish, as chair of the EAC summit, he will institutionally do things differently. It is not enough to be politically correct on Al Jazeera. There are things that he, as head of the summit, can do within the EAC.
Okay.
Yes.
Such as?
Well, we have Articles 6 and 7 of the EAC treaty. And these are the principal provisions that should govern the EAC. Amongst these provisions are the rule of law and human rights. Democracy is also in there among that cocktail. When we see what we saw in Tanzania, the president, as head of summit, is capacitated to call for an emergency, an urgent summit to discuss matters. When people are killed and we are now seeing a mass incarceration, those are things that are touching on rule of law, human rights. The head of the summit should call Tanzania to order. They need to sit down and say, nunca más, no more. We need to do things differently. Yes.
Because if you look at the situation in Tanzania, and we'll also talk about Uganda in a minute, but if you look at the situation, and videos have been sent, they've been posted online.
Yes.
Actually, there is an Instagram page. I'm forgetting the name of this page. It's on Instagram, specifically just pointing out some of the problems that Tanzania is facing. And they have posted video upon video and image upon image of Tanzanians, and I believe they are Tanzanians, who've been either maimed or injured really badly and killed. Like literally see someone's intestines ziko nje, and it's a really gory picture, and gory pictures actually, because they are multiple. In light of that, in 2025, what what on earth would warrant such kind of I don't even know how to describe it. What would warrant such kind of punishment on a people?
Can I ask a question before you proceed?
Yes, sir.
How certain are we that all these pictures represent what happened in Tanzania?
That's why I said I believe. I'm not certain, but that particular the particular page I'm referring to, if you'd have to watch,
I would
check
have
it
to
out
watch
for
it.
yourself.
But why I say this is I've had situations where someone posts a video that ostensibly speaks of people in a certain country doing something. For instance, at the beginning of the problem that Tanzania had, there were pictures that were taken of the airport, and it was Tanzanians breaching the Dar es Salaam airport, and yet that particular clip
was an old clip.
Yes, of Magufuli being brought into the country, his body being brought in after he had died. That was the clip.
Okay.
So I've given one example. The others. So whenever I see something that is that alarming, I have to pause and ask, have we ascertained that the pictures we are seeing actually represent the narrative that is accompanying it?
Yeah, and with due time we shall know if those are either fake, pictures, AI generated or otherwise. But as it is right now, we know to a certain extent kulikuanga na mabaya yamefanyika kule.
Well, I know for a fact that CNN and Larry Madowo has equally received a lot of images, and they are going through
Verification.
digital audit and verification of the same. Myself, I also wear the hat of being the chair of the East Africa Law Society Rule of Law Committee. And I do confirm with you that I have spoken to colleagues and friends in Tanzania, both in civil society and in the bar. And I do confirm that they give us very worrying stories. I know for a fact that people have indeed been killed.
Yep.
There's continued incarceration of persons, particularly those in the opposition, people who are basically protesting or airing their views on social media. So the repression is going on. The killings have certainly happened. What we need to know is the numbers, because anybody familiar with Tanzania will know this. Tanzania has this controlled environment in terms of information dissemination, and their space in terms of social media is highly restricted.
I didn't know that. Is this something that happened recently or it's been there for a while?
No, this is a CCM legacy.
Okay.
The party has this guiding, we need to guide the public, we need to control things kind of mentality. So, and your listeners also need to understand that Tanzania is still operating in a constitutional environment and a constitutional context that was bred in the 60s. They are using a very old constitution. And that constitution was suitable for very old times.
They didn't have like a referendum to like have, they don't have a new constitution.
No.
That's what Tundu Lissu has been fighting.
Yes.
Or
Okay.
speaking about. But remember, to understand it, contextualize it, CCM is modeled after the Chinese Communist Party.
Okay.
That's the modeling. And these are people who have a controlled economy. And even if they say they have multipartism, it is controlled. If you want to be polite, you will say it's guided.
Yes.
Because CCM is at the very, very grassroots. We have what we call chiefs,
Yes.
headmen, mjikumi. You can't be if you're not CCM. Police are CCM, military is CCM. So the question is, who is not CCM?
And you can see it's a bloodline between civil service and CCM.
Yes.
And with the last two cycles of elections, it's becoming a little bit tight, because right now we have a majority CCM membership in parliament, with the exception of I think 2 MPs.
170 out of 172.
272.
So I meant 270.
Yes.
Sorry, no, not yet. 272 out of a total possible of 274.
Yeah.
So for a country that a party that is so patronizing and quite tightly regulated, you will expect things to become tighter. The constitutional process, because we've been following this for some time, it has been there for several years. And part of the unrest you see on the street is a translation of the unease and the anger that stems from that stalled constitutional process. Because part of the problems with Tanzania is that once the equivalent of the election, our Independent Election Commission, announces the elections, you cannot challenge it in court. And it is in the constitution.
I found that very weird.
Yes.
Once they declare Nivyo.
Ndio hivyo. So how do you expect, and I will challenge your listeners to look at 3 observation reports. Those observation reports are very important, and this in any other serious context and election, these questions will be asked. There are 3 election reports that were released, and they are quite damning. We have the East and Horn of Africa Election Observation Group, EHON. EHON has, among others, my good friend Mule, who released quite early their preliminary report on 29th October. And in that report, EHON raised fundamental questions, including voter suppression, arrests, lack of transparency in the vote process. It raised questions about the observation and how observers were treated. It's a problem. Now, we also go to the SADC Electoral Observation Mission. This is from the SADC region.
Yep.
SADC was headed by a former speaker from Malawi, Richard Msowoya. And SADC raises very, very serious questions, and it pointed also to harassment of observers. I've been an observer before, so when observers say some of these things, you pay close attention. It talks of suppression and repression, disqualification of Chadema and Tundu Lissu. That is SADC, that is EHON, more or less speaking the same language. Then we go to AU, the African Union. The AU Commission Chair, who did something that I considered quite unbecoming, being very quick to send congratulatory messages before he had read the preliminary report from the observers, because the trend, the pattern usually is the head of the mission releases a preliminary report, then those bureaucrats up there take cue from what has been released. The AU report is equally damning, and it calls to question the conduct of that election. Cumulatively, these reports show to a poor state of health of the Tanzanian elections, because you had the pre-election phase where legitimate opposition was banned. There was a lot of suppression. If you moved around Tanzania, you'll see only one candidate's posters. The media was repressed, those kind of things. Then during the election, though it was marked by low voter turnout, one of the observers was telling us that in one station in the afternoon the numbers were so low. So for him to have had the Electoral Commission announced very high figures for that particular station, he was not amused. These will have been sorted out within the context of judicial review, going to court and asking questions. But now your constitution says you can't go to court.
No questions, yeah.
Yes, those are problems. Yes.
Wow. So going forward, what is the solution for Tanzania? Because I hear they might be having talks with the opposition to see how they can just calm the country down. Because when you look at social media after it was opened up, a few videos are coming out of individuals, citizens of Tanzania, just saying that, guys, this is wrong. People are being abducted even after the election. People are being disappeared. Others are turning up dead days after the election, and the process is done. So you can tell that indeed things are not necessarily quiet as they should be after an election.
Well, when I hear that we want to talk, and I saw the second vice president talk of talks in the context of the aftermath of such dispute should be institutional, and in law we call that transitional justice. Transitional justice is quite broad, and it involves a lot of mechanisms. So what are you talking about? Are you talking about pacification and giving us a facade of calm on the streets, or are we going to have broader conversations including institutional reform, opening up the democratic space, constitutional reform, electoral and legal reform? We also have issues with the way the opposition is treated, because elections are not, and this should go out to African leaders, elections should not be used to legitimize entrench power. Elections should enable peaceful and competitive leadership transition. So when you do what we've seen all over the continent, Cameroon, Madagascar, and now in Tanzania, you are only applying band-aid on a serious fissure. It will blow up and it will be a problem. So, yes, have the dialogue, but it is supposed to be institutionalized within the framework of transitional justice.
Maybe they can borrow a leaf from what happened in Kenya in 2007 and 2008 after the election violence that we witnessed. We had a situation whereby it gave birth to a new constitution. So there were reforms because of the conversation that our leaders had. That's the time we had Kalonzo being the vice president, and then of course the honorable late Raila Odinga becoming a prime minister. They had a handshake of sorts with President Kibaki at the time, and they had they brought about several reforms. Perhaps this is the time for Tanzania to do something similar.
Our 2010 constitution began much earlier.
Yes.
The quest for it and the building blocks that made it what it was.
Yes.
And simply garnering the views of the citizens and getting to know what people want and didn't want from the old constitution. It took a long time. Remember the referendum we had in 2005 was about that.
Yes.
Essentially, those who wanted it and those who didn't. Okay? So we took a long time. But remember, Tanzania has never been through these throes that we went through. From 77, once CCM came into being, the amalgamation of the Tanzania TANU, the equivalent of our KANU here, and Afro-Shirazi Party, a lot of things that happened in Tanzania were now tightly controlled. Simple fact.
Yep.
And when you have a system of that nature, the people who hold positions in the political party are stronger than any of the people you see around, because it's the political party that determines what happens.
Yes.
In sincerity. They determine who is the leader, they determine who takes which position, and these people have to be members of the party. You have to understand that. And that's why even the transition from Nyerere retiring and the others coming in could be done that, because all these people who followed were members of the party. Yes.
So, for me, I'm keen, and I will say that Tanzania needs to do one better compared to what we had in Kenya.
Yeah.
For the reason that Kenya's transitional process was inchoate. It was nipped in the bud by a certain interest. Particularly look at the transitional justice, the TJRC. What we did here in the form of TJRC is a joke. We still have simmering undercurrent that has not been resolved, and you see it once in a while boiling over onto the streets, and one day it will explode in the face of these politicians. You need to address historical injustices, and Tanzania knows best what are the historical injustices within their context. You cannot bring in TJRC, truth,
Justice and
Reconciliation in the context of mass arrest. You're talking of Maridhiano and you're arresting people. I saw the Attorney General froth in the mouth and say a lot of angry things targeted at one blogger based in the US, and talking about this lady will be extradited because the lady has been calling out the system and posting out videos. I mean, you as a politician, you need not to be this thin-skinned. You remember our own here, when the Gen Z so-called young people were posting videos and photos, caricatures of them in coffins. They become so livid. It is not factual that you're alive. If somebody makes a caricature, why are you getting riled? And then they go pontificate and give us morals, the same people who we know have multiple girlfriends and steal from us.
Evans, it isn't a caricature. What is being challenged is your fidelity to the law, and they know it.
Yes.
And they also know things that they have done which we don't know. It is that which they fear. Because if that comes to the fore, the problems they currently have with what we know would be considered a walk in the park. So when people react extremely violently, you wonder, but why is this person reacting this way and this thing is not such a big thing? There is what you don't know. That is the problem, because the worry is if this is known, because the hoo-ha that you see and you hear is about something that we know. They are known. At any given point in time, once you have a country like ours, where the known path to the pursuance of wealth is plunder of state resources. Okay? It is understood that that will go unchecked. When it is checked and it is questioned,
Yes.
it is scary.
True.
It's very, very scary. Because they know what the rule of law is.
Yes.
Handshakes have worked previously, number one here in Kenya, in terms of just calming things down. We also know it worked in this country in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe, when former Prime Minister Changirai had a handshake with Mugabe
Ivory Coast.
at Ivory Coast. So is it a solution that can work in Tanzania currently?
Well, number one, I have not been a fan of this political jargon that arises out of Kenya. Handshake. What is it? That other term we use. Handshake. Broad-based.
Nusu mkate.
The very juvenile terms. Let us look at democracy more broadly, because democracy is usually broader than the interest of these politicians. If you do what is convenient and facile, it doesn't last long, and certainly does not help the people. And look at the examples of Kenya, look at the examples of particularly Zimbabwe, where Morgan Tsvangirai and Mugabe ZANU-PF quote unquote shook hands because of the influence of particularly Western interests. And within months, these people have never liked each other. The politics are back to what they were. Anger and all manner of acrimony within government. We need to institutionalize reforms, because the democratic hollowing out you see, those are endemic problems. So that when you want to quote unquote apply veneer on things so that things are calm and your interest, and mostly Western interests, continue unimpeded, you're missing the point. We need genuine reforms. So Tanzania needs deep reforms. You cannot use the constitution they are using. They need to listen to the young people. The opposition needs to be allowed to operate in an open, transparent and accountable system. We had something that I found quite troubling. The head of the election, for example, is a sitting judge. That would not happen in Nairobi, Kenya, and is against international standards. What happens if the conduct and what that judge did is called to question in court? Will the peers of this judge look at what he did? How will you ask those questions? So there are a lot of problems in that country, and my worry is that entrenched interests, particularly among the ruling elite, do not want meaningful change. Another scary bit is, and this is all over the region, the influence of social media. Social media has opened democratic boundaries beyond the imagination of these politicians, and that's why you see them wanting to limit the space. It's even in our own country here, where some repressive laws are being used. Today, Radio Generation posts something or says something under Section 6 of the newly minted Computer Misuse Act. There's an authority there that was created that has the authority and power to pull down your posts, because if you don't agree with what media or people are saying, you get nervous. And look at what we did here, and it's happening again across the region. The ban on live broadcast by media.
During the protests.
Yes. That is happening across the region. It happened in Tanzania. Media was shut down. Media was repressed. And in that context, we had a journalist. I saw friends of mine from Tanzania talk about it. The journalist was shot through the head and buried within 3 days. And this has all been kept quiet. We have a problem. So we cannot simply just have men and now their sister, one lady, sit and shake hands and think that this will solve these many problems. No. Yes.
If you look at Uganda also, it's Uganda has been having issues for a while, but they've never gotten to the levels of Kenya and Tanzania, especially during elections specifically. And correct me if I'm wrong, but why is that so?
Uganda is special, and Uganda has its many challenges. Uganda in 1995 brought in a constitution that was thought to have ushered a new dawn. And this constitution was quite progressive, quote unquote, in the eyes of many. But that constitution will not happen so long as militarization of politics continues. Because one of the challenges in Uganda is you do not know the line between military and civilian governance. And that is compounded by various structural challenges, including a fairly struggling judiciary, weak institutions, court orders being undermined. I mean, it has a lot of problems, and the military has a very strong presence. You remember our friend Kiza Besige? There was an order by a civilian court for him to be released. And he's still in till now.
One of his lawyers actually was, when the Honorable Martha Karua was there, because Martha is one of his lawyers. There's a time, I'm sure you know this, one of his lawyers was actually locked up for, was it 9 months or how long was it? Because
Aaron Chiza.
Because of what he did outside the court. I think he made some kind of noise and akafungwa tu. Yani that case was within 5 minutes ikasikizwa akafungwa.
You know,
I was like,
when you're in this information age, it all seems very strange. In this country, when the president appointed judges and appointed prosecutors and appointed everybody, my friend, you could be arrested, taken to court at night and jailed that same day.
This guy, and within that lunch hour,
that same day. You're talking of abductions. When you hear of the torture chambers, what do you think used to happen? You could be picked up at 2 in the morning. 2. You are taken to this special place, whether it is Nyati House or Jogo or Harambe House, wherever those places were. Those who went there would tell you, sometimes no one beats you. All they tell you is to remove your shoes, and they give you a bucket of cold water where you put in your feet, and they give you a file to read. Now the scary bit is when you read that file, it documents your activities the whole day up to the time they picked you up, and you're wondering, where were these people? It is as people who went through that and talked about it. If they were university students, they came back the following day. That next week they joined the Christian Union.
So, like you said, there's a very thin line between civilian and military governance. And I guess it's because their president was once a general. And in the bush fighting.
NRM.
Yes, exactly. What about the people themselves? I don't know if you've gotten the chance to interact with professionals in Uganda. What do they tell you? Are they okay with it? Are they? What do they tell you?
Well, Ugandans are tired, from at least the ones we speak to. But we have to understand the context in which they operate. We take it for granted that in Kenya, for example, we can speak our minds, we can go to court and petition and get orders. This is not possible in certain countries. In Kenya, for example, we tell off these leaders, and we should not let that go, because I can see attempts at coiling back our liberties here through all manner of devices and tools, including law. Kenyans, let's not lose the ball. In Uganda, let me show you an example of how things are thick. There's a case that was filed by 2 of my friends, Kabumba and Karamaji. And this challenged the phenomenon of appointing judges on acting capacity. Because when you appoint a judge on acting capacity, this person does not have the necessary independence to firmly decide on issues. The Constitutional Court agrees with Karamaji and Kabumba and says this habit is unconstitutional. What does the state do? It It goes and appeals and gets people to give you certain orders, temporary orders, and that case has been in the pipeline for several years. And the habit of appointing temporary judges continues. That means that today I will wake up and say, Mr. Mbuvi, you're a judge. Your brief is this. Go and do what you must do. And these are habits we saw in Kenya. Mzee Moi used to appoint acting judges, and stories are abound of somebody being called and told, this is the file, this is what we want you to go and do.
Yep.
And people gave orders. You talk to our seniors in the profession, they suffered a lot under this phenomenon of acting judges. So the problems are many. You may have a constitution, but a parallel reality is created to undermine that very constitution.
Right.
And then you have what you've been saying, and this is region-wide. You remember what happened to my good friend Boniface Mwangi and the lady Agatha Hagaire
from Uganda. Yeah.
Yes. The sexual violation and the torture. You've seen what has been happening here in Kenya, where we have become the mecca for abductions and rendition. And some of your listeners may not know, there were 2 South Sudanese journalists who were abducted from here and renditioned to Juba.
Yeah.
And these people were disappeared. Information has it that they were executed in very horrible manner within very sacred grounds. So that is what happens when the erosion of democracy happens within the region. And the pattern that is emerging is that this is coordinated. The other day we had this Tanzanian activist, Serai. This lady was being abducted somewhere in Kilimani. She had gone for a salon appointment on a Sunday, and there was coordination between our people here and the authorities on the other side. Simply because she's speaking her mind, people had the audacity to try and kidnap her here and do a besige on her, because besige was abducted from some facility in Westlands and was driven by road to Uganda, where he's now being subjected to all manner of ill treatment. That should have been the same case with Serai. So we have a problem. Yes.
You know, it is not possible for these things to happen if we as a citizenry have not developed a mature relationship with the law. You see, our law, even as we speak now, and the application of it seems to be through guidance. It is we observe how the people we support politically apply their understanding of the law, and we follow suit. Now, it may sound bizarre what I'm saying, but I'll give you an example of what I mean. How is it that President Uhuru led the charge on this very issue of disregarding court orders? He led the charge on serious issues. Let's talk about the appointment of judges. There are 41.
Yes.
Uhuru just said, Court of Appeal judges. He said, forget about it. The court says one thing, this is an arm of government, the president decides, forget about it. The damage that does is profound.
Yes.
It is profound, because you have actually declared that it is okay to disregard the law. That's what you've done. And it'll cascade down. And so everyone in their own little pocket will find a way to disregard the law. When we hear of plundering and nothing happens, again, you are sending the message, it is okay. So everyone in their own little pocket will find a way of plundering. So instead of working towards the things that build an economy and enhance the riches of the country, we are depleting it at source. And then we think we are going to grow. How exactly are we going to achieve this? We do not ourselves, we do not as citizens, we do not have a good, healthy relationship with the law. We break the law when it suits us. We do. How many people will say, I am aware I'm going to be inconvenienced, but I'm not bribing this policeman? Simple. Or these young people who keep saying they want change, how many of them will say, you know, I am not taking money from a politician? because that erodes whatever power I have, and I'm enhancing their power.
Bwana, hiyo kitu ni ngumu City.
Bas, precisely. This is not a path that anyone tells you is easy. It is not easy. It never was easy. It is not easy. Because those who want to maintain the status quo want to, and they know how to do so. So until we gear up our minds, and as the Bible says, gird up our loins and decide, this path is a bit difficult, and that you are going to take a path that probably leads to some discomfort for you.
Yeah.
These changes we keep talking about, we will not get. Not really.
Afrik Cyber, sorry, let me just read this.
Okay.
Afrik Cyber Guard Academy anasema City, I get furious and mad when the CCM cartel talks of reconciliation. It's reconciliation with who when they said that it was foreigners who caused chaos in their country? Very, very, very good question. Yeah.
No. Those guys were scared out of their wits. Look, Tanzania has never had anything of this sort. Again, you're looking at a situation through the lenses of Kenya. Okay. We've even given these mandamanos names. We know. So when you say mandamano, you refer to which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, these fellows have not had it. This guided system they have has never had anything of this sort. You tell me, in this country, how do you jail opposition leaders? How do you prevent any candidate of theirs from actually being on the ballot, and then you have an election in this country? Do you think it can happen? Precisely, it can't. In that country, they were doing it.
Yeah. We have Sarah here saying, good morning, Movie and City. I'm listening to the TZ conversation this morning. I believe what we are seeing in East Africa and Africa at large is the second liberation. We kicked out the colonials, but the systems that we had were their system, which have clearly failed the African people. The West Africans are shaking off the French. East Africa, we are doing it from our own protests too, and Tanzanians standing up to a rigged election. The time is now here. African leaders better wake up. We are tired of failed economies and corruption.
I was about to chime in to what Uncle City is saying.
Yes.
And he remembers this. In 2002, when Kenyans had achieved what had appeared to be the impossible, we defeated the Moi and Kanu machinery.
Yes.
Look at all parameters. Kenya was graded as the most hopeful country
on the planet.
We were also on the streets arresting and detaining police officers that were soliciting and taking bribes. What happened? Politicians again. Because the people are not necessarily evil, necessarily bad, and they take you from what happens at the top.
Yes.
So when you come in and the spirit of permissiveness, a carte blanche attitude of anything goes, you've seen all these ones vomiting on our shoes and speaking
after feeding on our own food.
Feeding on our own food. It's an authoritarian playbook. And these have been documented. You hear of the story of foreigners coming to interfere with us. We saw those things during Kanu.
We did.
When questions were asked, when Gitobui, Manyara, Paul Mwite, Wangare Maathai, the Raila Odingas of this world asked things, the fallback is to accuse foreigners of invasion, other foreign powers. And that is under what they call the national security doctrine. Yeah, we need peace, we need security.
National security.
We are being threatened. So that will give them the opportunity to bring in the military and the police to secure the regime, not to secure the state. Another thing that happens, and you can also see it here, what I call lawfare. The law is being weaponized. The norms of law are being used to delegitimize the opposition and civil society and the citizen as well. So that when you speak in public and you say things that they are not happy about, you become a target of the law. Look at our parliament. What has parliament been passing in the name of the law? Some of the most horrible pieces of legislation. And when they are declared unconstitutional, you hear Moses Masika Tangula telling the judiciary that, you're overreaching. Mr. Wetangula, we are here to remind you that you're a lawyer and your PC is amenable to recall. We are members of the LSK. You respect the judiciary and what the judiciary does, and you respect the law. Then you will see institutions being weakened deliberately. There's a lot to discuss, and probably we'll come back on another day on the authoritarian playbook. There are proven methods of undermining the state and to show up personal power, and with personal power comes money, largesse that a cartel, a cabal around those the ruling elite benefit from. That does not help the citizen.
In fact, what then you see in conjunction with that is the leadership that is synonymous with the government, an individual, and the people around him. So when people say government, you're actually referring to this individual and their cabal.
Yes.
Because when they say something, it's like the entire machinery. And we talk government, you're talking about parliament, you're talking about judiciary. So they speak as though what they have said encompasses all these three arms of government. And they also legitimize the statements they make to the point where people believe that what they say is law, and they're thinking it can't be.
Yeah.
That's what you have said. The law is something completely different. By the way, it chips at you.
Yes.
It doesn't hit you in one strong bolt. No. It's broken down in pieces. To the point where, how do you get to a point where we are in the 21st century and we are sitting back and thinking that the politician is going to bring development? What on earth are you talking about? Huh?
Maendeleo.
That isn't how it is done. That's why we have a budget-making parliament, and that's why you have allocations. It's with the understanding that these are the things that need to be done. And it's in keeping with the mandate of the delegated power that we've given to all these individuals, including the executive. It's delegated. When we say it's delegated, believe me, we delegate that power to all these organs. We delegate it. Now, when they take it over, and it's a coup, and then they are the ones who now want to tell us what to do with power that is actually ours. You have to sit back and ask, excuse me, you've got something wrong here. This doesn't belong to you. You're part of us, but you as an individual or as a group, that's not how it works. And how does it manifest? It manifests in you not getting what it is that you are supposed to get. Not forget being promised what you are supposed to get as a citizen of this country. If you have free education, you have free healthcare. Yesterday on my flight, I was a young lady who works in the UK as a nurse, and she was telling me the marvels of living in the West. The free education the children enjoy, the free medical service they enjoy. She works there. She's on a 5-year contract. Now, when you don't have to pay for these things, that is money you have. What can you not do? We have a conversation that is the complete opposite. You already have a pay that is already burdened, and then someone wants you to pay more for education or pay more for health. Already you are in a quandary. Because that excessive money to pay for this, you actually haven't had it. So what do? You have to take a loan. Yes. And then you have to take a loan from some of the riskiest sources possible.
Shylocks, banks.
Yes. And so when you hear banks posting these huge profits, all these institutions that lend money, these are not signs of progress. These are signs of the problem we have in the country.
Yeah.
When amidst all these problems, banks post those huge profits, there's a problem.
So then how do we, as a continent, how do we move forward? Because we're having problems here in Kenya, we're having in Uganda, Tanzania. Tufanyeje?
Problems are different.
Well,
the same.
Tanzania's post-election crisis is a painful illustration of a wider continental tests. Are leaders using elections to renew democratic legitimacy and governance, or are they using them to entrench themselves? So we need to remind ourselves as Africans that elections, peaceful competition, consent and accountability is lost when leaders prefer coercion and legal manipulation. We have to say no more, nunca más. And I'm glad that wind is blowing. It might as well be the fourth wave of democratization. We need to reverse these trends, and reversing these trends requires that we value institutions over political survival. We have stronger domestic and regional checks. The East Africa community, I spoke of President Ruto chairing the EAC. The EAC needs to do something. The AU, and shame on the AU Commission chair, who has largely embarrassed the institution and the hope that we had with it. We also need to sustain citizen engagement. The citizen is the owner of the process. Don't peripheralize these people thinking that you can govern without the people. Now, without this, elections will continue to be instrument of power consolidation rather than mechanisms for responsive leadership, and the human and political costs will keep on rising. Africa needs to write a different story. Thank you.
We have Njuki Mungai saying eternal vigilance is the price we have to pay for democracy. We should be very wary of what happened in TZ, kwa sababu ukiona mwenzako akinyolewa chako kitie maji. And City has actually said this before, that we need to hold our leaders to account. So that means what Njuki Mungai is saying here, eternal vigilance, like lazima tukae macho 24/7.
Yes.
Such that if we see you're our president or you're the CS for whatever it is and you're misbehaving, we call you out.
Yes.
Clearly Africans have shown that they have the spine.
Yes.
We have the teeth.
Yes.
But we are fighting a monster, because this monster is unbiteable, for lack of a better
Actually,
word.
this monster is us. You know, it may seem strange, but the path that took us to what we now have, fractured as it may be, the challenges that were faced them were insurmountable. A one-party state is not a joke, Chief. They are the law, man, and people are telling them to go suck a lemon.
Okay.
So this is infinitely easier than what was there before. You could be arrested and nothing would happen. Which court were you going to go to? You would go to court for what? The court might even add to the sentence that you didn't think you had. This one, we have institutions. It's a work in progress, but we have them, and there's a fight to maintain them. See, getting a constitution is the beginning, it's not the end. To retain it and to ensure it works and it's enforced, it's a fight. It's a long drawn fight. The Americans who've had theirs for God knows how many centuries are fighting to date.
Yes.
Us, we've had it for 60 years. Oh, I mean, what do we think? It's a fight. Because there are people who are determined to retain the status quo before the 2010 constitution.
Yes.
And they know that they're in for a fight. It's us who are not aware of just how much we also need to fight to retain what we fought hard to get. They erode this constitution every single day when they have an opportunity. We need to go into history sometimes and look at when we had the referendum.
Okay.
Who was on which side by the time when we were voting? It can tell you exactly how it is they will relate to the constitution. Yes.
Hapo ndipo shida zetu zilianzia.
Yes.
Yeah. Shortly, we have about a minute to go. Cameroon. Cameroon is a special country.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you have to say about Cameroon? They've elected their 92-year president for another, is it 5-year term?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say that was not an election. That was a ritual to again buy legitimacy. These authoritarians have decided that they have to buy a veneer of decency and some smell of respect by showing and holding numbers. That is why African despots all over will use all manner of things to rig elections and give numbers. Perhaps a conversation for another day.
Yes, indeed.
I want us to look at the authoritarian playbook.
Yes.
Because that is what these despots have been using, and the pattern is recurring. We are going back to the Africa of the 80s and 70s.
70s and 80s, yes.
That is where we are going.
So that's why they say that the more things change, the more they remain the same.
Yes. So for us, and particularly for Kenya, because Kenyans seem to have the idea that we are very far off from
No, we're not.
what Tanzania is experiencing. I need to remind them this, that authoritarianism is not built on coups but on constitutions. This constitution that we think is good
Yeah.
can be the very platform for authoritarianism. The question for us is no longer that the law exists, but what power the law serves. So we need to be very careful and look at what is being passed, because those laws, and with this incompetent and decrepit parliament we've had, you've seen what's been churned out there. We need to remember that every generation, our generation, must decide whether the law will be a master or will be its servant. That is very important.
Evan Sugada, thank you so much for coming through. We hope you'll make time, perhaps even next week. Let's talk about authoritarianism.
Thank you, sir.
Hi.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The body of a school principal who went missing last week has been found in River Kipkaren, Nandi County. The mutilated body of Simon Isaho, the principal of Munyuki PAG Secondary School in Lugari, Kakamega County, was discovered in the river over the weekend. The river is located several kilometers from the site where his wrecked car was found following an alleged accident on Monday, November 3rd. Upet officials have since urged police to launch a thorough investigation into the incident.
The killing of our principal, it is very unfair. It's very unfair and very unfortunate. We are calling upon the government to make some due process so that those culprits who have done this one should be brought to book.
We are sure if this was someone else, if it was a big person in the government, if it was a politician, there would be arrests that have been made already. But because it is a teacher, this process is taking a very long time. We are not accepting that.
Surrender all illegal weapons in your possession or we'll come for them. President William Ruto has warned Samburu County residents. The president says that the government will not allow the use of guns to perpetrate violence in the region. Speaking during a visit to Samburu on Sunday, the president said security agencies are aware of individuals in possession of illegal weapons and will move to recover them if they are not surrendered voluntarily.
Na nimesema hiyo ujinga haiwezi kurudi hapa. Mambo ya kuleta maafa hii dunia, mambo ya kukosesha watoto wetu masomo, kulete wajane na mayatima, kuharibu usalama. Serikali ya Kenya tutasimama kidete. Wale watu nilituma siku ile wako njiani tena. Waambia hao watu waanze kufunga safari waanze kutembea. Sasa sisi tunajua nani yako na bunduki. Sisi tunajua, na wewe my friend, sikiza mimi sawa sawa. Na kama kuna rafiki ya huyo mtu wako na bunduki yako hapa, hiyo bunduki uko naye, we will come for it. Tutakuja kuchukua, lete mapema.
The government has stepped up efforts to protect Kenyan migrant workers by tightening the regulation of labor recruitment agencies and working with foreign partners to eliminate rogue operators. State Department for Labor and Skills Development Principal Secretary Shadrach Modime says only accredited and compliant agencies will now be allowed to facilitate jobs for Kenyans abroad. Speaking during a state visit to Oman, Modime said Kenya has signed partnerships with several countries to strengthen oversight and ensure only legitimate local and international recruitment firms are allowed to operate.
One of the key areas that we've agreed upon is the need for Oman to establish a visa processing center in Nairobi. They are already having discussions with the Philippines. They would wish to have discussions with us also concerning the same, so as to ensure we do away with road recruitment agencies that bring Kenyans here on tourist visas that will not guarantee employment. And we're not making reference to unskilled labor alone, but also for skilled labor.
3 people died and 15 were injured after popular waves battered popular Spanish holiday island Tenerife. A woman died after being pulled into the ocean near the Puerto de la Cruz resort, and a man died at Santa Cruz de Tenerife. Emergency services said on Sunday a third man was found dead in the ocean near a beach. Emergency services have told the public to stay away from the coastal parts and to avoid taking pictures and videos of the rough seas. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
Sports on Radio Generation.
Good morning, I'm Samuel Otieno. Manchester City celebrated Pep Guardiola's 1,000th game as manager with a 3-0 hammering against Liverpool in the EPL. Erling Haaland missed an early penalty at the Etihad Stadium, but the City striker recovered to give Guardiola's side the lead. Nico Gonzalez increased the advantage before halftime, and Jeremy Doku capped his man-of-the-match performance with City's third in the second half. It was the perfect way for former Barcelona and Bayern Munich boss Guardiola to mark the latest milestone in a glittering 17-year career, including 716 victories. The Kenyan rugby side, the Morans, have been crowned the 2025 Zambezi Sevens champions after an impressive 14-0 victory over hosts Cheetahs in the final. The first half was a tense affair with neither side scoring, but the Morans dominated the second half as Floyd Wabwire scored twice. Both tries were converted by Revon Ambale, sealing the win and the title. The Morans wrapped up a perfect campaign, winning all their matches and keeping a clean sheet throughout the tournament. And that's the truth on sports. I'm Samuel Otieno.
Sports on Radio Generation. The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
Yes, indeed. A very good morning to you. How are you doing? It is now 8 minutes past 8 o'clock. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. This is the People's Breakfast on Radio Generation 88.8 FM in Nairobi and 90.7 in Mombasa. So if you tuned in, let me know where exactly it is that you tuned in. But in this particular hour, we want to talk about the Social Health Insurance Fund. And to help us have this conversation is the chairperson of the Social Health Authority, Dr. Abdi Mohamed. Daktari, a very good morning to you and welcome to Radio Generation.
Thank you very much. Dr. Abdi Mohamed is my name. And yes, the People's Insurer.
Yeah. Indeed you are.
If this is the People's Breakfast.
Actually, Daktari, help us understand.
Yes.
Because Kenyans usually just know one word, SHA. Yes. But of course there is SHIF.
Yes.
So maybe help Kenyans understand the difference between the two, or if indeed they are the same, one and the same thing.
Okay. So the Social Health Authority is the organization. And previously what we had was the organization and the fund were the same. NHIF, the organization, NHIF, the fund. But for this new dispensation, the organization is called the Social Health Authority. So under its mandate is 3 funds. So it has the first fund, which is Primary Health Care Fund. And then the second fund, which is the Social Health Insurance Fund. And then there is the ECCIF, the Emergency Chronic Critical Illness Fund. So so for the first fund, which is primary health care, it's tax funded. So it means every Kenyan is entitled to it without contributing. So the only thing that's required of you is just to register. And when you register that, then now you are entitled to primary health care services. What is this primary health care services that we talk about? So it's your outpatient needs, where you don't need to be admitted. You just need to go to a hospital, get services for your homa here and there, malaria, whatever basic needs that does not need you to be admitted. Is those are the things that you go to those facilities. And we have capped that services to 3 levels of hospitals. That is level 2, level 3, and level 4. So that means that you can go to a level 2, a level 3, and a level 4, get your primary health care services, but you must have registered.
Okay.
And the registration is very simple. From your phone, all you need to do is *147# or go to afeyangu.go.ke or go to sha.go.ke. You'll be able to get all the options to register. When you register, please, my appeal to Kenyans is add your dependents. Because people usually forget that they register themselves, then they forget their children.
Okay.
They forget their wives or their husbands. So it becomes an emergency the day you go with your child to a hospital.
Yes.
Then you are told they are not there. Now the process becomes, and at that time it's tense. You don't know, there's a downtime a little bit. It becomes chaos. So we keep on begging Kenyans, always make sure your people are added under your profile. If they are your dependents, just add them. At your free time, when you are not under any pressure, you are just in the office, log into your profile, just to make sure you have added your children. So the second,
yes, on that first one, before we move to the second one, on the first one. So if I need those services, I can walk into any hospital, public or private, or are the services offered in the public hospitals alone?
So you can walk into public, private, mission hospitals contracted by SHA.
Okay.
So it's not any, as the word suggests. So it's only facilities that have been contracted, who have been contracted to provide PHC services. Those are the ones, and they are across in terms of ownership. Mission is the ones owned by the churches, and then the private sector and public sector. For public sector, I can easily say all.
Okay.
Level 2, 3, 4, all of them. For the other categories, it depends on the owner's decision, whether they have been onboarded or not onboarded.
Okay.
So it's any of those facilities.
And you have said, for example, let's God forbid nitoke hapa nje and I'm hit by a motorcycle. And I've probably sustained a cut on my arm. I can rush to that primary healthcare facility, get treated absolutely free of charge, and walk away.
Now that comes in the third fund.
Okay.
You have jumped. Which is ECCIF. So under ECCIF, actually, you don't even need to register. Under emergency circumstances, registration is not necessary because that's what you are entitled to under the Constitution. I was going to the second one, which was the SHIF.
Okay.
So the Social Health Insurance Fund is a members contribution based. So it's 2.75% of your total income. Is what you pay on a monthly basis.
2.75%. 2.75.
And it is on your ability to pay because it's based on your income. So it means if your income is 10,000, it's the 2.75%. If it is $1 million, it's the 2.75%. So the contribution varies based on income. One person will pay 27,500, another one will pay 300 shilling. But in terms of benefits, you're entitled to the same. And that's the whole essence of social health insurance. That's why it's called social, that we contribute equally. We contribute based on our ability to pay, and we get benefits equally. There is equitable in terms of services. Then the last one is ECCIF, Emergency Chronic Critical Illness Fund. That's also tax funded. So emergency, you're entitled to everyone. Anybody within the Republic of Kenya is entitled to emergency.
Even foreigners?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether you are a foreigner, it doesn't matter whether you have registered, it doesn't matter whether you have not registered. The emergency bit, you're entitled to the first 24 hours for any of the services that you require. Then subsequently now your other either cash or other your SHIF comes in or your private insurance after that. And that's where now we are heading to start the ambulance services, which hopefully will be up and running before the end of the year, if not early next year, so that we have as a Kenyan that when you need an ambulance services, you're able to call a national toll-free number, and then an ambulance it is dispatched to wherever you are, and then it takes you to the nearest emergency center that can give you services at no cost.
Yeah.
At the services because of the fund that we receive from Treasury.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is now where I was asking if, in case I get
yes.
hit by
So in case now the ECCIF, that's where it's billed. So the hospitals now the differentiations that this is an emergency as under ECCIF, but you are just at home, you're not feeling well, or you have been here the whole day working. Then in the evening you feel like some fever, you need to go and see a doctor, you need some sort of treatment. Now that's PHC. And that's where now registration is required, that you must have registered for you to benefit that services. Yes.
Okay. So for example, let me give you an example. I have a relative who a few months ago had to be admitted at one of the hospitals here on Ngong Road. And she had spent a bit, I think it was about 5 days if I'm not wrong, but at the point of discharge there was an issue with SHA. What, first of all, of which of the three was she under? Was it the first, the second, or the third?
Was probably under SHIF. If she was admitted for long,
yes,
then it's neither, because it's already an admission. So PHC is out.
Okay.
PHC is for walk-in, walk-out.
Okay.
Then SHIF is where now you have been admitted. It means you are a contributor.
Okay.
And the last one is emergency. It's the first 24 hours and it's over.
Okay.
So all the subsequent days have to be covered under SHIF.
Okay.
So what was the issue? So that
alikuwa amelazwa tu, alikuwa na infection fulani, then akadischargewa baada ya siku kama 5 hivi, lakini wakati wa kutoka pale, I think the issue was late registration with SHA, so it wasn't really an issue per se. It was just about registration.
Okay. So this is the challenge that we face as an authority, and in insurance term it's called adverse selection. So adverse selection is where an individual gets a cover post the fact
of admission.
Yes. So you get it's like you drive your car, you get hit on an accident, then you say, wait a second, I forgot, I didn't have an insurance. Let me get an insurance, and then it's covered. So what happens is some people are applying or registering after they have been admitted in hospital for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. So then their expectation is it's paid. You can never backdate.
Okay.
After at admission, if you did not have, you did not have. If you are not covered, you are not covered. If you did not register, you did not register. So then now that's where problems start. People say, "Oh, you know what? I registered, and now people are, yeah, but you paid it today when you are about to be discharged." And then you realize your premium is, let's say, 6,000 for the whole year. And then your bill is
50,000,
300. And then you are told, if you had SHA, actually that's what the hospitals should tell people, so that they understand the importance of this doing prior. 250 would have been paid by SHA. So then now you start thinking, let me be smart and register. And then now I start making noise saying, "Oh, we have registered and it's not working. It's not working. This thing, it's unfair. It's unfair to all the other contributors for you to just step in when you are sick and you need the services." Because you need to ask yourself, where is the other 244,000 coming from?
Okay.
It's other people who have been contributing. So what we need as a nation is that you don't know. The challenge with health is you never know when you need it.
True.
You never know. And unfortunately, it's one of the most expensive things that you can live with. It's easy to deplete a family's resources by just having one person falling sick. And that almost always puts a family into poverty. And studies show that almost 1 million to 2 million people are pushed into poverty every year because of sickness.
Actually, there's a saying among Kenyans, wanasemanga, you're one disease away from poverty.
Exactly. And it's because of you never know what's going to happen, when you will fall sick, when you will need. And hence the reason why we should have all contributing, whether you look healthy, whether you look young, whether you look old, you don't know when you need it. When we all contribute, what that does is it actually increases the benefit package. Because now, as an authority, and I will come to it, there is now a whole committee based at the University of Nairobi with scientists who are doing the numbers to say if we need to cover this disease from this point to this point, if we need to add this new benefit, if we need to increase the current rate from this to this, these are the numbers that we need in terms of people contributing, the total contribution to be this amount. So there is an opportunity for us as a country to improve even our benefit package to Kenyans. But that can only happen if everyone steps in, contributes, and your contribution is based on your ability. No one is telling you to pay 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. So you pay as per your ability to contribute.
Dr. Let me ask the question.
Yes.
Are you saying that people who have paid in advance prior to any illness that gets them admitted to hospital, that these are people without exception will actually be served and will get the cover they paid for?
Not really.
So just walk us through it so that we understand the permeations, and so that when somebody goes to hospital, they understand that the situation that you are in is this and that and the other.
Okay. So so you register today.
Yes.
You contribute.
Yes.
Anytime you fall sick, you will get services.
From if I register today and I fall sick tomorrow,
you will get services.
I'll get the services.
Yes.
All right.
You get. You have registered 1 year ago. You have been paying. You are up to date. You need services. You will get services. You fall sick, you will get services. But what you will not get is you have been admitted in a hospital. You are in a hospital, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. On the day of discharge is now when you want to register.
Oh, you. No.
Even now, even you agree.
I do agree. I just want to understand because.
So you want to register on the day you are leaving the hospital, then you want the hospital and SHA to backdate the payment. So then they pay for you all these 5 days you have been in hospital.
It goes against the very principles of insurance. Insurance is you pay before it actually happens, so that when it happens, whatever it is, the cover is in place. So now all you're doing is enforcing it.
Thank you, and you hit it on the head. That's what we are trying to say. Even sometimes, this is the other problem that we also face. You have been paying diligently for the last 1 year, but you have never added your dependents. You get admitted. On the day of discharge is when you want to backdate the addition of your dependents.
Okay.
You see, that now is picked as an adverse selection.
Who qualifies to be my dependent?
Your children and your spouse.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the age limit of these children?
Up to 18 if they are not in university. If they are in university, up to the 25 years. If they are disabled, no age limit. So those are the people who are allowed to be added as your dependents. Spouses as well. Yes.
Yeah,
and it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
How many am I allowed?
4.
Very good.
Can my aged grandmother, for instance, be my dependent?
No, she's a household on her own. Yes.
What if she lives under my roof? I take care of her. Yani basically, kila kitu ni mimi.
Yes. Still, it's just one household.
It's you, wife, children. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Uncle, auntie.
No.
Different household.
No. Those are different households.
Parents, different households.
Different households. Those are households on their own. So the children are also the ones that you are guardianship. They are also allowed.
So if I'm staying with my cousin's children, because my cousin is no longer there, those are also
now you just need to get the documentation right
and present. Okay.
Yes.
So you've just said that in terms of dependents, I can have up to 4.
No, for spouses.
Or 4 spouses. And our children.
Children can be as many
as we have. Okay. I just need to confirm that because we are a polygamous culture. Society rather, na kuna watu wanaweza kuwa na mabibi wengi sana.
So don't be pressured. So you can in choosing one.
Paul, unaambia usiogope.
No. Mimi siogopi. Siogopi. Mwenye niko naye ndiye anaogopa. Now, in terms of, there was a question, and I think I saw something in the papers either last week or the week before that.
Yes.
There's some increment of sorts that SHA has done as far as cancer treatment is concerned. I'm a bit scanty on details.
Yes. So the reason why we set up the ECCIF and it's tax funded is because we realize that there are certain conditions where your benefit under SHIF is not enough. You are more likely to deplete it.
Yes.
And then when you deplete it, what happens? Previously, you were left on your own. You look for other ways. You had a cover, you depleted it, imeisha. So what the ECCIF is supposed to do is to help you with the excess loss. So you have depleted your benefit. Now this becomes like a cushion. Okay, how do I now benefit? So you have a limit under SHIF, then under ECCIF, because you have exhausted your limit under SHIF, ECCIF kicks in and helps you address that exhaustion. And the first condition that we have put under it is ICU and cancer. Those two, because under SHIF ICU we pay 4,500, but that is in level 6 hospitals, the usual bed rebate. But because we have realized that 4,000 for an ICU is not reasonable, we opted to increase that limit to 28,000 under ECCIF. So now every night for ICU, 28,000 comes off SHA pays for every patient who is in ICU, including neonatal ICU. For cancer, there's another 150,000 that has been added, and there is still
150,000 is for what period of time?
No, it's for the whole year.
Okay.
The premium usually runs a year. Your policy is beginning of the year when you have started to the end. So you finish first what is under your benefit under SHIF.
Yes.
When you finish it, anytime, sometimes you could finish the first 2 months, sometimes you finish at 9 months and the treatment still ongoing. Then now you continue. After the year is over, your benefits reset to 0 again. You start from the beginning. So it's a new financial year. Your benefit now becomes full again. So it doesn't end. And that is also important for patients with chronic conditions. For acute conditions, it's okay. But for chronic conditions, your treatment does not come to an end this year. Sometimes it's continuous. You need to continue being treated next year, the other year. It's something that goes on. So you need your limit again to be replenished. And that's how now the ECCIF comes in. If you finish it before the year ends, now that's where you will have to step in. And that's what we are trying to see. How do we improve this limit? Or maybe in the long run, have no limit. When you kick into ECCIF, it continues until the financial year is over. Because that way, you at least feel that there's nowhere you will be dropped because you're on treatment.
People who are on dialysis have a certain number of days that they must go for this process and procedure.
Yes.
What is the fund paying for now, and under what you're saying, what is under consideration, what do you hope to pay for?
So currently, dialysis patients are entitled to 2 sessions a week for the whole year.
So 2 sessions
every week
for a whole year.
For a whole year.
Okay.
Under their SHIF contribution.
Yes.
And this daktari is at a hospital of their choosing or public?
A hospital of their choosing, including Nairobi Hospital, wherever you live nearby, because luckily dialysis is available across the country.
Okay.
If you go to even Mandera, there are dialysis centers. If you go to Wajir, there's dialysis center. If you go to Marsabit, go to Turkana, the farthest corner in this country, you will find dialysis centers. So it is any facility of your choice. And then we pay for those 2 sessions, 10,650 shilling per session. That makes it 1,300
okay
per week. So in a month we pay 84,000, around 86,000 in a month. And this is a person who has contributed whatever amount. It could be 300 shilling, 500, 700, 1,000 shilling. We will pay that 80-something thousand per month. So now there are sometimes patients who might need an extra session in a week. So that's where now we need to go take that to the ECCIF so so that you get that one extra session, and it's not so continuous. There might be very few patients who need 3 at the minimum every week, but the number is few. The bulk and the majority of them, 2 sessions is reasonable enough to get the treatment. But more importantly, for those who don't want now to continuously engage in dialysis, there is the option of transplant, which we pay for.
Up to what? What's the
for public? No, for transplant. Once if you go for transplant this year,
it's a one-off.
Yeah, it's a one-off. But it's a one-off for this year. The next financial year, if you need transplant again, we will pay. The other financial year, if you need another transplant, we will still pay.
Is there a ceiling?
The amount, yes, the amount is there, but we have hospitals that we have negotiated with. That now, if you go and you have SHA, you don't need to top up any shilling.
Everything is covered by SHA.
Everything is covered by SHA.
How widespread are these hospitals across the country?
Even transplant is not widespread.
No, transplant is definitely not widespread.
So you will find the number of hospitals that are able to do transplants in this country are not beyond 6.
They are 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So all the major public hospitals, the level 6s, that's Kenyatta, KUTRH, and maybe MTRH. Then you have the Aga Khans, the Nairobi hospitals. Those are now the ones that have those transplant, and maybe another 1 or 2 in Eldoret that are able to do transplant. So one of the agreements that we had signed, so for us, you see, we try to look at where can this be provided. So public hospital is an issue. What we need to find out is which other private hospital can be onboarded so that they also remain within this limit. Aga Khan was the first hospital that stepped up and said, with transplant, we will not go charge as long as the person is covered by SHA. And we signed an MOU. So the expectation now is there will be few people who will now step up to take that offer and proceed and get the transplant done locally. Yes.
The principle on which insurance tends to work, one of them is pooling.
Yes.
You have many people over a period of time coming in. So my question here is, are all civil servants under SHA?
Yes. Anyone who is employed, including His Excellency the President, contributes to SHA and is a member of SHA.
Military?
Yes.
Teachers?
No, the military on their own have. They don't. You don't get their salary contributions. No.
But are they
military, no.
are they insured under SHA?
You know, they have their own hospitals.
No, they own their own. They have their own cover medical. Their own. They are not.
Okay.
They are not civil servants.
They are not civil servants.
What are they?
Discipline forces.
They are military workers.
Police officers?
Yes.
Teachers?
Yes. Everyone.
You see,
the CSS, PSS.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes.
I'm asking.
Yes.
There has to be a critical number that is needed for the contributions to be at a point where they can actually meet the demands that we're speaking of here.
So for me, what we need is if every Kenyan contributes, those who can't afford, there is the indigent. And government has already paid for around 2.3 million.
What do I need to do to be indigent?
No, I don't think there is anyone who would like to be an indigent. It's just circumstances.
Yes.
But you will find most of the time it's elderly people who. So the Ministry of Social Protection is the one that identifies individuals who need help. Either government subsidy for the usual monthly reimbursement or any other services. So one of the other services that they need is health. So they pay for their SHIF contribution. But remember, those people, their PHC, all they needed was just to register, so they didn't need to contribute. But now they also get the SHIF cover as well. So now they are entitled to the full spectrum under SHA for all the 3 funds. So indigents are paid for, but the rest of Kenyans who can afford in one way or another actually need to contribute, and when you contribute, now that is where you talked about the pooling, and it increases the revenue, the fund that we have, which now pushes our expands our benefit package to in such a way that many more hospitals are willing to make this benefit in and out, so that you don't have to do any out-of-pocket contribution. But as an institution, what we try now to find out is which are these big ticket items for the moment that maybe if you are told pay out of pocket will put you under distress or into poverty. Transplant is one of them. It's not easy to pay 2.53 million cash to a hospital. So now if you have the cover, at least you are assured of getting that without having to do any harambes.
And in terms of, because sometimes I could get a surgery if it's that kidney transplant, for example, and then my kidney or the kidney that I got is rejected by the body, so I need to either go for another surgery or some kind of procedure. Is that also covered?
Yes. The cover is still there.
It's limitless.
Yes. Oh. No. It has limits. It's not limitless. Anything that is counted
has a limit.
Cannot be limitless.
Cannot be limitless.
Yeah.
So it is. Yes, but it depends on what's the next surgery, how big is it, because we have categorized and we have put all those surgeries to say this is at this level, we are paying this amount, you are entitled to 1 of these, 3 of these, 2 of these. So it's clear. At that time you will be told yes, you need the second surgery, you can proceed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. But in the case I can't, then now I need to go back to the drawing board.
Yes, but you see, for us even to expand that benefit, move from maybe 3 surgeries or 4 surgeries to 10. It's what CT said.
Yes,
that we need that mass, that many individuals to onboard and register. Now say, okay, I am contributing. Yes, today I might not be contributing.
Right.
I'm not sick. But tomorrow when I am sick, at least I am entitled to a benefit. And more so people who are at high risk. For example, you are boda rider. Your risk of injuries is
very high,
compared to the normal individual who uses vehicles or does not use any motorcycle,
or who works from home.
Yes, but you will find still those are the same people who might not be contributing anything. And you see that now creates then now they will register maybe after the accident and try and contribute. But if every boda guy actually registered immediate, they will not have these challenges in terms of being put on traction in hospitals, like where they tie your leg and put some weight and they are told it is 6 or 12 weeks for it to heal naturally. And then what happens is in those 12 weeks as a boda rider, you are not earning. Your family is waiting.
And even after those 12 weeks, I don't think you will still get back on the road. No, sometimes after 12 weeks, it's not yet haijashika. You are told we are extending another 6 weeks. Yes.
Or 12 weeks. So what happens is at the end of the day, that motorcycle is sold, that family scatters. now they are trying to contribute, trying to see. Then they have a hospital bill at the end of those 6 months, which they have to offset. But if you had SHA and you went, did any of the put in an implant, after 3-4 days you are discharged from hospital, another 2-3 weeks you are back to your normal life.
Okay.
That is the thing that people still don't realize, that this harambe, this pooling is
Can be
basically
avoided.
harambe. Is there's a better way of doing that harambe, not at distress time, but by just contributing regularly. Because you are contributing, don't wait to be added into these WhatsApp groups. It's better. Why are we forming our own private WhatsApp groups when we have this one big one under the Social Health Authority, where I contribute, you contribute, he contributes, and if there is any benefit people feel that they need to be added, you can easily go to that new the Benefits and Tariffs Committee and petition. They have started meeting with stakeholders. Yes. They have started meeting stakeholders to hear out what benefits do you want either to be scrapped, to be added, to be enhanced, so that as a country we take lead in what we need to prioritize. Yes.
There's some insurances, if you've taken, I'm talking about the private one now, where in case of your demise they can provide a casket, or they pay for a hearse as well. Is that something that is in SHA or can be considered?
In the long run, yes.
Okay.
But for now, we are dealing with the
people are alive.
Yes.
Fair enough.
In the long run, yes.
One of the very big questions that Kenyans were asking when SHA was being rolled out is why NHIF had to be, rolled up so that SHA can have a life. Why not just include some of these other benefits that now we are discussing and continue calling it NHIF? Because NHIF, when it was rolled up, it went with a lot of things. People who are working for NHIF, sijui kama walifutwa kazi na bado wako kazi ama iko namna gani, but you understand what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, so why couldn't we just maintain the good things of NHIF, get rid of the bad ones, and include the new ones from SHA?
But that's what we did. That's what exactly happened.
Okay.
So in 2017-2018, there was a committee that was formed, a task force, to look at what ails NHIF. And they came up with a report that said the NHIF we want, which was to suggest a radical shift from what we have been doing. We have been doing the same thing for the last 60 years. And it doesn't seem to be addressing some of the issues. So NHIF was the SHIF part, the Social Health Insurance Fund. So all you needed was you must be a member who contributes. There was no other benefit to any other Kenyan.
So it was 500 bob.
Yes, so it was a members club. So you needed to be a member and pay. If you have not paid your subscription, there was no benefit. But when you look at SHA, you realize there's the PHC, which is tax funded, which now puts every Kenyan on board, whether you have contributed or not contributed. You at least are entitled to a service at the minimum, outpatient. Then the second bit, which is also something that has been in law from the new Constitution 2010, emergency, under Article 42, says that you are entitled to emergency services. The Health Act of 2017 said the same thing. There was even an emergency policy document at the ministry level, but it has never been operationalized. 2010, up to now, with the new law that we passed up to 2023. Now, that dream and vision needed to be realized. And the way to do is through the Emergency Chronic Critical Illness Fund, which now entitles you to emergency treatment without you being either a member or a contributor. That was also not available under NHIF. So that's why you will find that there was a need to remove, and then the contribution. If you look at contribution, people were paying different amounts. It was unfair to the young person, to the low earners. If you earn 10,000 and you are paying 500 shilling, basically what you are doing is you are paying 10% of 5%. For those who earn less than that, if it was 5,000 is what you get as your income, you end up paying 500. That's 10% of your income. But the person who was earning $1 million was paying 1,700. So to the highest earner, there was a capping. And actually that was from 100,000. So anyone who earned above 100,000 was told, no, you wewe ni mdosi 1,700, hatutaki zaidi ya hiyo. So it means the contribution was pushed to the people who earn below 100,000. Because from there it was fixed 1,700. If you earn $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, it do not matter. So that was 0.0017% of your income. So when you look at in terms of the numbers, it did not make sense contribution wise. It was very unfair system, very regressive. When you look at while the what you should aim for in any country is a progressive nature of taxation. Not regressive. Regressive, you are just pushing the low earners downwards. Then when you look at the issue of administrative fee, NHIF did not have a limit. So they could collect $1 billion and use 500 million.
When you say administrative fee, what do you mean?
Salaries, rent,
fuel,
vehicles.
There was no cap.
There was no capping.
Oh,
it was open.
So
it was
they
an
could
open
employ
check.
as many people as they liked, pay as they saw fit, and so forth.
Yes.
Oh dear.
So at one point, it was as high as it started progressively. Early beginning, it was 80%. Of the money they collect, 80% was for administrative. So it came down. The last time it was around 17%. So for every 100 shilling they collect, 17 shilling is for administrative fee. That is now where now you will find all these stories that you keep on hearing, that a lawyer was paid 70 million to recover 10 million. That you own a building but you rent the one which is next, and you live your own building but you pay rent
in the next one.
You that you find that you have 85 computers in a branch and then you have 10 workers. So then you ask yourself, why did you have another 70 computers? What are they doing? So there was a lot of freeloading, if I would say. But under SHA, that has been capped to 5%.
Oh, really?
Yes, in law. In the act, not feelings by board members. No, it's in the law. 5% maximum is what you can use to do your administrative
And
work.
is the 5% meet the needs that are there?
Yes. Hence the reason why now the issue of reducing the number of staff from 1,800 to 800. So that reducing countrywide, yes, reducing the branch network to a manageable 47, investing in a call center where now people can actually call and make, rather than having physical offices, using Huduma centers so that people can now, when they are looking for other services, they go to those Huduma centers and get SHA services as well. Doing most of it through your digital platform.
So, Daktari, what happened to the staff members that were reduced?
So the staff members that were reduced have been given two options. Those who want to go to the public service can go directly to public service. Those who want to remain will apply competitively with the rest of Kenyans, and those who are lucky will be appointed to SHA. Those who don't manage will go to public service and will continue earning the same salary. So they haven't lost their jobs.
So what you're saying is that there are actually three options.
Yes.
So option number one,
yes,
voluntarily say that you want to get into the public service.
Yes.
So that means that you are now redistributed in the in the public service network.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you could end up in treasury. You could end up in
interior. You could end up in KBC. You could end up in KRA.
Okay.
Anywhere.
Then there are those who now want to apply to remain in SHA.
You go through the competitive process of recruitment.
So you are recruited, and then my brother here, City, isn't recruited.
So you remain. City now will go back to public service. Will join the others who opted.
So my benefits, or rather his benefits,
remain the same.
So the years of service that he has given to the government,
his pension remains the same. So nothing changes. Basically, it's just your workstation that has changed. You left your old building NHIF.
Yeah.
Now you are in the Ministry of Water, Ardhi House, which is next.
Transfer of services.
Exactly. Or you have gone to Ministry of Health, Afya House.
Yes.
That's where you have moved to. So it's only your location that changes, but your benefits, your salary, all those things remain constant.
So if City applies competitively with me,
yes,
now we are applying for this position,
yes,
and then I am lucky enough to get it,
yes,
do my benefits change? My salary, does it?
Why is it you who gets it? Why
not City?
Why can't I get it in this story?
Okay, so City gets it.
Thank you. That's a better scenario, yes.
So City will now be onboarded with the new terms of the new Social Health Authority.
Okay.
And you see that one is voluntary, no one has forced him.
Yes.
He has the option of leaving. So sometimes the new terms could be better than what he was earning.
All right.
Maybe you are just an officer who never been promoted because there were people who are holding those positions. But now you have a chance to compete with your former boss. You come and convince the board that you feel you are the right candidate, you know your staff.
Yeah.
So you might end up getting an increment in salary because you are earning lower, but now you have moved into a little bit higher position.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might be earning the same where you are now, and the position you have applied for is the same, so you will remain with the same salary and with the new terms of the authority. And the new terms of the authority is governed by SRC, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. So they are the ones who say this is your salary structure, this is what the CEO should earn, this is directors, deputy, assistant. So we have that limitation. Yes.
There's Mr. Ndungu Wainaina here as asking, or rather saying, there are 4 types of healthcare systems in the world which meet the healthcare needs of the people, and they are the Beveridge model, the Bismarck model, the National Health Insurance model, and the out-of-pocket model. Which is the Kenyan model?
A combination.
Exactly. Actually, he has answered. Yes. Because you see, out-of-pocket means that you are paying from your your own mfuko. The national health insurance means like what we have.
Okay.
But what we have is a mixed model, because there is also tax funded part of it, which government is paying for PHC and ECCIF.
Yes.
But at the same time, there is the part of you contributing as well. So that's why you have a combination.
Yeah.
We have tried all those things. Out of pocket, people have been doing and they are still doing. We have tried the
beverage.
Where now government pays. But unfortunately, there is no one system in the world that you are told is the best.
Okay.
You always need to find out what works for you as a country. If you look at even now today, counties are supposed to equip their hospitals and provide services from budget.
Yes.
But that has been before counties as well. National government was to have been equipped and provided services. But were we getting what we needed to get?
Okay, good question. So, Daktari, I want us to take a short break.
Okay.
Get into the news. Then when we return, of course, I'll read some of your comments coming from YouTube. Akina Kenson Mugolo, Naftali Midega. I can see you, Job Nyawira as well. So keep on sending them. We shall definitely get back to you shortly. Don't go too far.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. Detectives in Kirinyaga East Sub-County have arrested a prime suspect behind the kidnapping of Gatuto Primary School head teacher Joshua Kerai. The kidnapping occurred on November 4th, 2025 in Kagumo within the county. In a statement by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the suspect Patrick Gashoki Muembe and his two accomplices who are still at large allegedly pounded on unsuspecting teacher, bundling him into a vehicle before subjecting him to harrowing ordeal as they drove him around in circles. He was rescued by a good Samaritan who rushed him to Kerugoya Catholic Hospital where he received medical attention. Human rights lawyer Evans Oganda has urged East African leaders to confront rising repression in the region, citing recent events in Tanzania as a threat to democracy and the rule of law. Speaking on Radio Generation, Oganda called on President William Ruto as the chair of the EAC summit to convene an urgent meeting to address electoral injustices and human rights violations. He says most African states have lost the plot because many of them have resorted to coercion and manipulation when it comes to elections.
We need to remind ourselves as Africans that elections, peaceful competition, consent and accountability is lost when leaders prefer coercion and legal manipulation. We have to say no more. Nunca más. And I'm glad that that wind is blowing. It might as well be the fourth wave of democratization. We need to reverse these trends, and reversing these trends requires that we value institutions over political survival. We have stronger domestic and regional checks. The East Africa community, I spoke of President Ruto chairing the EAC. The EAC needs to do something. The AU, and shame on the AU Commission chair who has largely embarrassed the institution and the hope that we had with it.
Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has urged African leaders to respect citizens' rights to peaceful protest. Kalonzo says the wave of youth-led demonstrations sweeping across the continent reflects a renewed spirit of Pan-Africanism and not rebellion. Speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for the Pan-African Institute, Kalonzo said the growing protest by young people and a legitimate outcry against poor governance, corruption, electoral fraud and economic hardship. Police have arrested 2 suspects said to have been involved in a series of highway robberies along Eldoret-Malaba Highway. The arrests follow an operation led by officers from Matete and Webuye police stations. According to police, the 2 are believed to be part of a ruthless gang that has been preying on innocent motorists in a series of late-night ambushes that left travelers terrified and property lost. During interrogation, the suspects led officers to their hideouts along Rivanzoia and Nabuyole village, where cache of stolen goods was recovered. A trial begins today for a man accused of carrying out an attack on a Christmas market in the eastern town of Magdeburg last December, in which 6 people were killed and more than 300 others wounded. The suspect is a doctor from Saudi Arabia who has been named as Talib A in line with German privacy laws. He is accused of driving a rented BMW car at a speed of up to 48 km per hour through the market in the center of Magdeburg on 20th December 2024. He will appear in regional court charged with murdering 6 people and the attempted murder of another 338 people. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
Welcome back. This is Radio Generation. The time right now is 6 minutes past 9 o'clock. How are you doing? I hope wherever you are having a good time. But most importantly, I hope you're following up the conversation with us here in studio. We are with Dr. Abdi Mohammed. He is the chairperson of the Social Health Authority. And in the last hour, we're just talking about the SHA as a whole, understanding what exactly they're all about and what their mandate is. And I think I have a pretty good picture of what exactly it is that they do. But also one of the questions that was coming up as far as SHA is concerned is, why it moved away from what NHIF was. But with good reason, of course, he has explained that lazima vitu zikuwe improved at one point or the other. We've seen questions also on our X account asking which model we are following. And Daktari here said that Kenya tuko na models zote na hata zingine I think tumejinventia. So the question is, wewe mwenyewe unatumia gani? Have you registered with SHA? Well, I honestly do hope so. I said that I will read something coming through our YouTube channel. For instance, we have Naftali Midega saying biometric authentication is a nightmare at Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Teaching and Referral Hospital. Where kuja upange line for 3 days at the CT scan ujue. Daktari, is this something that we're experiencing a lot? Because I've had questions of this biometric registration, or is it the use of biometrics? What is this all about?
So the idea is to cap on fraud, so that the person who is getting the services is you and not your relatives who is not registered. So yes, we have challenges. I will be lying if I told you that it's smooth, it's running, there are no issues. So there are 2 kind of challenges. One, you will find there are few patients maybe who have a challenge with their fingerprint reading. Those we call aged cases. So they need to be identified and they are whitelisted so that they go back to using OTP. And we know this is Abdi. his fingerprint cannot be read. It has one issue or another, and then they will be using OTP. But there are a few others where you will find the facility, maybe the gadget has an issue. Maybe they have only 1 or 2 service points rather than 5, 6 service points. I think that's something that we'll try and address. Hopefully, it will come to an end. And once we find out, like now, JTRH, I'm sure the team who are listening will take the necessary action and find out what exactly is the issue.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we have here Kenson Mugolo saying, is SHA paying on maternity because Linda Mama was doing well?
Yes, maternity, SHA pays for it. So I don't know when someone says it as well, what exactly they mean. Because SHA pays higher than what Linda Mama was paying.
Okay.
Normal delivery, we pay 10,000. Linda Mama was paying 2,500. So cesarean section, we pay 30,000. Linda Mama was 17,500. So sometimes I know there are buzzwords people use. Unfortunately, the facts speak differently to it.
Okay.
Yes.
Then there's Mohamed Murunga. Mohamed anasema, SHA has always worked for me despite the negative noises. Not perfect, but let's embrace it. Let me ask you,
yes,
from where you sit as the chairman,
yes,
what are some of the negative noises that Mr. Mohammed is talking about, and how are you tackling them?
So there are many noises that are around SHA.
Yeah.
As I have told you, if I close an office and you are the landlord, and I move to my building,
yes,
of course you will not be happy. If I reduce my expenditure on printing, on other things that I have been doing or NHIF used to do, because now I'm capped at 5%, there will be noise. If you are a hospital, maybe you are engaging in fraud, and then now I am able to finger point and say, okay, an action is being taken, you are taken to DCI and the process kicks off,
yeah,
you will not be happy. So there is a lot of challenges. The noise, some genuine. For people, let's say you have gone, you are trying to log in your biometric, it's not working. Those ones are genuine concerns. Those are things that we try operationally to address. But when you pick the other noise, sometimes you realize it's not coming from a point of facts. It's coming from a point of some people with other agendas. Currently, we use, for all our cases, we use the AG's office.
Okay.
So that means we are not onboarding any law firms.
Okay.
We are not onboarding any new suppliers for other different things. Because we have to try and limit ourselves and set aside 95% to pay for people's care, and put ourselves within the 5%, try to maintain our administrative fee within that. So genuine concerns, we pick it, we address them regularly on a day-to-day basis. We go through, because people call our call center, so we always have what are the main issues. Sometimes most of them you will find is educational issues. How do I add someone? How do I change my phone number? Because the phone number that is in the system is not, I'm not using it anymore. How do I contribute? So those are the basics that we are trying to see. How do we address them regularly?
Yeah, during the strike that we had in Kiambu County, is it over?
Yes, it's over.
One of the issues, because we sat here with several doctors from Kiambu, one thing that came out from their conversation is that they are not insured. So I do help me understand what they meant by that, because we CT here was asking, are the military in here, the police, teachers? So are doctors insured under SHA?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is for counties, I think there are two things. So you see, SHA is a statutory deduction. It's a requirement by law that 2.75% of your salary is deducted and given to SHA. But doctors, like all other employees, have CBS and agreements with counties or employers for people who have unions. So one of their requirement is that they are put on another medical scheme other than what they have generally. The statutory is not counted, so they ask for an extra. But sometimes the challenge we face with the counties is there's a delay in payment to SHA from counties, from parastatal, from even private entities. So what happens is the system automatically cuts you off until your employer reimburses. So when there is a delay and the system says you are not eligible
because you haven't paid,
because your employer hasn't remitted, but they deducted from you in one way or another, or they haven't paid you even salary. So of course, under SHA you will not get services. It's just the rule. And you have 9 days to pay, 1st to 9th of every month.
So if
from 9th up to 9th, if your employer hasn't remitted, then on 10th you are not eligible.
Is it possible for me to remit?
No. You are an employee. You are not self-employed.
So let's say my employer for whatever reason is having challenges. Pia yeye mahali pesa inafaa kutoka anilipe iko na shida. But niko na
now that is where hustle. Now the usual noise comes in from people who are employed formally. Because they feel that it's not their fault. But also for us, what happens is if we don't collect, we run into
problems,
outstanding debt.
So there is
now outstanding debt trying to recover becomes a challenge.
So a good Samaritan, like CT says, mbuvi hujalipua SHA, wacha nifanye hivi miezi ngapi? 3, wacha nikulipie miezi 3.
Sasa city needs to come and pay through the payroll all the pending.
So when you're self-employed, Daktari,
yes,
what documentation do you need to present so that it can be understood that what you say you earn is actually what you earn?
So you do the self-registration, you say you are not employed, and no one has declared you anywhere as an employee.
Yes.
So then you do the proxy means testing.
Proxy.
Yes. So the means testing is where now we look at your income. So there are questions that you will answer.
You look at the income I have told you I earn.
Yes.
I see where
so, but you are not telling me that you earn 1 million. No. I will ask you, have you gone through those questions? They are around 40.
Yes. I personally have, because I registered.
So you start from what do you do, level of education, where do you live? There are many questions that you will answer. So out of that many questions, there's a mathematical model that runs and gives an estimated income.
So you're going to decide for me what I should earn?
No. We are estimating. we are estimating your income and telling you this is your estimate. Based on this estimate, you should pay 1,000 shilling or 500 shilling or 600 shilling monthly.
The socio-economic status that I would have,
yes,
according to you, is determined by the details I will give in this questionnaire.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
So essentially, you'll still be telling me what you think I should earn.
No. It's you who has told us.
No, it is you who has decided that from the information I have given you, it equals this.
Yes.
You see, because again, I went through that system. I really can't remember the details, but I remember some of the questions there. Of course, they were trying to determine, whether I have money or not.
Yes.
Because I remember somewhere I was asked, what was my M-Pesa balance? Or, such kinds of questions. But what if, and this is a what if question, I lie in this mean testing?
100% possible that you will lie.
Niseme mimi ninaishi mali.
So the model is also equipped to also pick discrepancies in your what you are saying vis-a-vis what else you have said within. So there are things that you will say you are thinking you are lying or you are lying genuinely, but kuna vitu zingine pia unasema which also don't tie.
Is this a system integrated in any way with the KRA system?
No.
Pity.
Yeah.
Because that would be Msema kweli.
No, but you see, not every Kenyan pays to KRA also.
Why I asked the question is I may not be paid a salary now, but I was once paid, so it becomes a good reference point. Yes. So with the KRA input, you have a fairly clear idea.
So there is a lot of data and information that it tries to aggregate. It's not perfect. It's not 100% foolproof to say that I am paying, but that's why also it has the option of appeal. If you feel you have been put at a higher,
there's an option.
Yes, you can appeal. You appeal. You say
if you can appeal at KRA, you can appeal here also.
Yeah. So the idea is not who pays the least. That's why this social health insurance is the ability to pay. So if you're able to pay whatever that you have been told, I think it's only fair that you also pay.
Yeah.
Because your benefit will outweigh what you are going to pay in any way.
You know, the discussion about payment is often augmented with a different discussion. The private insurer versus this
government one.
This utumishi kwa wote system. Now, there are arguments for both sides, and there are those who will tell you, but perhaps this is more of a Kenyan middle class construct where they will argue about something that they have benefited from, especially when they're in the corporate world. However, the thing that the diet on which we've been fed for the longest time is the negative aspects of SHA. Okay? Vis-a-vis what it is that the private service, the private insurance provide. Now, those of us who have both will probably have an interesting story to tell. Now, Daktari, do you ever come across individuals who, there are many who come out publicly and say, SHA did not work for me on this and this, but then those who say, actually, it worked for me. Is it that the numbers are balanced? Is it that the numbers of people who are saying SHA is working for them is increasing? Because the tempo of noise that one heard, one doesn't quite hear. The people still complain, but the tempo is not the same.
Because the numbers, yes, I agree with you. Maybe the noise has gone down because the facts sometimes will find its way.
Yes.
The truth at the end of the day just comes out as time goes on. Unfortunately, the initial noise was with a lot of lies. But the beauty, when you also respond to those lies, you are told, wewe ni wa serikali, wewe nyamaza.
Yeah, ndio.
So sometimes you allow action to speak louder than the noise. So yes, there is that has gone down, but I think there's still room for improvement on small operational issues that we need to address. Even those people, some of it is lack of education, lack of awareness, or what they have been told vis-a-vis what they are seeing. But generally, every day close to 30,000-40,000 people benefit from the SHIF
on a daily basis.
That is the SHIF. If you go lower, it is the hundreds of thousands for PHC on a daily basis. So you see, those are human beings. They are people. They have relatives. They have friends. They have. So you cannot continue lying to them, because they will tell you, what do you mean? Our colleague has been paid for. Our friend or my relative, my auntie, my. So they start realizing. Then the second one, where you talked about on issues of voluntary health insurance, not so much private per se, that's what's called in the lingo of insurance, is people now realize that there's a limit in what can be covered, what cannot be covered. SHA does not have pre-existing conditions. As I have told you that we cover everything. Any condition that you have, we don't say this one we are not going to cover. SHA does not have also age limit. From day 0 to 90, 100, 120, it doesn't matter. So there's nowhere we will tell you you are above this age, we can't cover you. So we don't. The benefits and the tariffs is something that is not under small print. They are gazetted. They are published. There is an opportunity to amend through petitions to the committee. So it is an open system, a democratic system, where you have a committee that sits, that you can actually go and say, there is this condition that you have missed, or there is this amount is not enough for this condition. Can you please adjust it upwards? So as Kenyans, we have that ability to go and say, but when you look at other insurances, if you realize today, if you need dialysis, there's no one who will cover you except SHA. None. No other insurance will cover you. Why? Because they will look at the premium they should ask you for. And for private health insurance, the premium is probability. If the probability is 1, then it means dialysis, they will have to pay $1 million plus a year. They already know. So because your probability of dialysis, requiring dialysis, is already 1. It's not 0.00 something. So their premium is calculated in such a way that they will have to charge you for the benefit payout that they expect, which is $1 million plus, plus now for other conditions that might arise, plus now their profit or return. Then they will ask you for 2-point-something million as a premium. Hence why they just say we don't cover this.
Yeah,
it's easier.
Or they tell you, if you have pre-existing conditions, I speak as somebody who has 10% of whatever it is that you cover, the total sum of your cover. Meaning, if it's 1 million, the maximum is 100,000 maximum.
But on paper, you have 2 million limit.
Yes.
On paper. But if you happen to be in a hospital and your cover is $1 million bill,
yes,
they can only pay
that 10%.
That 10%, which is 100,000.
That they tell in advance. It is 10%. You see, when SHA gets bad press, and it used to get it very often, as I said, the noise has reduced. It is published, it is known.
Yes.
Do you actually get publication where people are saying you have worked? We see it, but do you people get to hear people saying, this SHA thing, haki kusema kweli, it works?
Yes, we receive. I received letters from patient groups. I received letters from doctors. I have met with hospital med subs in public hospitals who for the first time see resources that they have never seen before. So I have an opportunity to improve on service delivery. It's just that maybe we don't shout and say we have been praised by city or we have been praised. So what has been happening is working just silently.
It's interesting because when I asked this question.
Yes.
Every time somebody says something which is positive about SHA, it's whether pandering to the government.
Exactly.
Yes. Or you've been paid, okay? Or this is just positive propaganda on behalf of the... But I have a friend. He's somebody I've worked with, and he was unwell.
Yes.
Now, he has actually documented the experience about SHA. It's called Mark Bichache.
Yes.
He actually wrote it down, detail by detail, what SHA paid, what his private insurer paid. So I know because he's somebody I happen to know. So I know it's out in the open. But personally, every time it comes up, I also say, I have two relatives whose bills, one actually passed away, but whatever bill they had was paid for. One underwent a surgery recently. It was paid for. So every time the conversation is had, I'm at odds and I say, okay, what specifically are we talking about? Because as any system can fail, any system can have a problem, but what is it that the system promised that it is not delivering? Because if it's not working, then that is what would qualify as not working. But when I read about someone like Mark Bichache openly, because it's the public domain what I'm saying,
yes,
and he talks about, and this is somebody who is a communication expert. He's not somebody, he would not say it because he has been paid to say, I know he was sick, I know he went for surgery, I know the surgery was successful, I know. Why? Because he told me. Okay? Is it possible that from what you are saying, Daktari, is that at SHA you try as much as possible to hear what people say and to also try and respond? But you may respond by doing, but do you respond by telling the public the things that you are actually doing regularly so that they can actually understand?
Yes, we try to communicate in terms of what are the things. We haven't done the best out of it. There's also some one other thing that people don't realize, that we have been on a transition, trying to recruit, trying to address this issue of staff transition. So we have finished the first senior management level, from CEO, director, deputy, assistant director level. So now we are heading to the second layer of staff, which hopefully once we are done, we will have an organization now that is fully ready, with no having staff that are not yet sure, am I remaining, am I around, am I going home, or am I going to public service. That transition bit is finally coming to an end, and you will see a lot more visibility when it comes to SHA communicating, but not just communicating, but communicating to the positive. Where there are issues, every day we try to address, because when we pick a problem, we are able to pick out where is this issue that needs to be addressed. And I agree with you, there are individuals who, if you say I am okay, or I have been served, you are told, oh, you are in government, you are this, you have been paid. But the reality and the truth is, if you walk to KUTRH today and go with a camera and look at the number of people that they serve in a day, 98% use SHA. And that one I can challenge anyone. Go with a camera, ask every patient who walks in and walks out of that hospital, what have you used to pay for your services? They will tell you SHA, 98%. So you see, 98% of the people who have walked in and out of that hospital are not very few people. They're in the thousands. And that is now what we see every day. The number of people who are getting, they have 200 radiotherapy sessions, all paid for by SHA. There is no private insurance that will pay for that. Cancer, how?
Actually, my mother is a very big beneficiary of these payments that Dr. is talking about. When she used to go for radiotherapy. Yes, and chemotherapy.
Yes.
Yep.
So you see, those are conditions that generally you will be left to your own. So you are. It is, and that's why we keep on saying that to even increase that benefit further and make it more the limit, so that you don't exhaust per se. We need every Kenyan at least to contribute what is within their ability. If that happens, and we have that authority, the committee led by Professor Jaoko,
right,
we are able to petition and say, okay, please increase, add this. I believe with time we will be able to even move away this verticalization of certain diseases and make all of them integrated under SHA. Instead of saying, today we depend on US to help us with this, tomorrow when they remove the plug out of it, we are stranded. So we are able to reclaim that sovereignty and say, okay, we have a cover that at least covers everyone. And this is for everybody, irrespective of who is in government. Because you see, these things are perpetual. They don't end it today because there is a new government. Once the system picks and it continues and it's improved, it remains perpetual. And you will realize, go to places like Thailand, they can have coups, military taking over, but their UHC never changes. They can have a king, they can have elections. None of those governments who come in touch
the healthcare,
the UHC,
or the education system for that matter. Well, yeah, I'm just adding. So
yes. For Thailand, that has been, many changes have happened. Military has taken over, went back to civilian monarchy. The UHC remained. If you go to the UK, the NHS, you can make noise however you want, whether you are in conservative or Labour. The fight is who is going to add more resources.
Okay.
That's where now public ownership comes in. And public ownership can only come in when you are also putting in, you are contributing, you are a member. So you start demanding and saying, this benefits is not enough. Can we adjust? Can we move it? And now it's not hearsay, it's not rumors. You come with facts, you come with figures, you come with your economists, you come with your actuarists, and we'll have that discussion. Unfortunately, we haven't had that debate. The noise at the beginning was propaganda. Now the little that's there is on operational issues, where you'll find the biometric is not working. You'll find this. So every day we are trying to solve most of the operational issues, but we need to have this national debate to say, is this what we need? That how do we add resources to it?
Daktari, there's a comment here by David Chumo. Anasema still is it still or still? But anyway, he's saying, I'm assuming it's still level 2 facilities doing normal deliveries but not being paid by SHA. They have disabled bed capacities. David anaongelelea nini hapa daktari?
Okay. So this is the other thing that people haven't realized, that the way the law has been designed is in such a way that we have delegated some of the authority NHIF used to have to other organs, including this committee that I talked about. Previously, it used to be NHIF that used to determine what is the premium, what is the benefit, and that was it. You had no say. There was no discussion. There were no meetings to stakeholders or anything. So the same thing has happened when it comes to facilities, empaneling, and onboarding. So this is within the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Council. So as per within their law, level 2 facilities should not have beds. Hence, they shouldn't be doing anything which is inpatient.
So no admissions?
No admissions. As per the law, it's supposed to be an outpatient center. And in any way, they also close dispensaries.
They have set working hours?
Yes.
So essentially, they are what we used to refer to as dispensaries.
Yes. So now when you tell me that you have beds and there's no one working at night, who have you left the patients with?
It's a valid question.
So what SHA does not do. So it is KMPDC that says this facility does not have beds as per our license. And it's time we started working within the legal framework. If you want to become an inpatient, there are norms and standards. Putting a bed is not equivalent to you meeting the requirement. That's not it. You must have the resources, the human resource to work in that facility, to be able to do the night shift, day shift, able to handle emergencies. Then you can say you are now level 3, upgrade it. So that's where Steve Chumo is coming from. It's not SHA, it's KMPDC. So it's the regulator who said it's the same thing for you. Now you see, you can't say you are radio because you are beaming on YouTube. You don't have a license for radio. So it's the same thing for those hospitals. If they want to do certain services, all they need is to write to KMPDC, get the upgrading that they require, show they have the resources, human resource, and the equipment required, and then they proceed.
So if a mother happens to deliver at a level 2, ajia posha italipa?
No. No. Okay. Because that's not the services that you have been licensed to provide. Yes.
Even if it's an emergency, like
now that's different emergency. But it can't be a normal day-to-day activity. Yes.
Okay.
Dr. We've said some fairly nice things about SHA.
Yes.
Now let's talk about some things which may not necessarily be very nice.
Yes.
As an organization, do you have a system that determines what it is that has been said that requires looking into? And what process do you have or follow to look into these things? And then lastly, how do you talk about the things that you have found that required looking into, rectifying? How do you then broadcast it or let it be known that these things have now been dealt with?
Our communication. That sounds like a communication strategy and plan.
Yes, that sounds like a question that is being asked of the chairman. Yes.
Yes, we have. So what we face are two kind of challenges. There is operational challenge that is unique to an individual or a facility. An individual, sometimes, as I have told you, is your fingerprint cannot be read. You see, that's unique to you. and maybe to someone else and someone else, but the others will have no issue. So when you raise that, all we need to find out is if it is a genuine case, then you are whitelisted. So you see, we might not be able to come back and say we received this noise and this is how we solved. So we will just proceed. Life as goes on. But there are issues sometimes which are policy related, which now is made an adjustment. For example, when we increased the ICU, there was a communication to it that it's 4,000, it has moved to 28,000. So that now that is done, the initial, when you address it, you would find at that time there are many other negative 1,000 stories which are put out to drown what you are communicating, so that it's not seen that you are saying something positive. The others need to come in. We have had our weaknesses, and I think it's something that we will improve on from the teams that we have now recruited from the senior management. I'm hoping to see a little bit more visibility in terms of addressing, saying, communicating that this was a problem, this is what we have done, this is how we have solved, these are the issues. I'm hoping to see changes, a lot of changes.
See, many of these questions and issues, when they come up, they'll come up with reference to a specific facility.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, when you do your QA, QC,
yes.
Okay, should this not be a primary focus where when you're looking at health facilities, again, you tell me that's a KMPDC problem. It is largely that. But when you look at what is referred to, forget these general statements that pundits of social media just talk about generally. I'm talking about issues that are raised specifically within a hospital setting, because somebody has gone to hospital and whatever took them there or the need they had was not met as it should. Now, a system that actually collates these issues and a system that also addresses them, so that when it is raised, you can tell this is what was raised and this is what we addressed.
Yes, with the new department that we have, provider relationship, we are actually segmenting the providers and having relationship managers, so that there's someone who is able to address, so that we know this area or this group, all your issues, this is your person to. So your person two will receive, the relationship person will receive those issues. If there are things that it's due to lack of knowledge, they will be able to sort it immediately and explain and tell them, this is the issue, this is what you need to do. If it is something that requires a little bit more address, then they will escalate it to the senior management to find out a solution. If it's beyond the organization, SHA, then now we can escalate it to the Ministry of Health. Like this issue of beds in level 2, that's not something that's within the purview of SHA.
No, it is not.
That is something that needs to be addressed through the Ministry of Health and KMPDC. So we will escalate and say, this is a problem that we need to address. So that needs to go to now to the ministry to find out how do we solve that issue. And now the ministry will come up with an policy to say, yes, we can exempt, no, we can't exempt. Yes, we can exempt for this condition, no, we can't exempt for this condition. So it's something that can be addressed, because SHA cannot just wake up and say yes, because that decision of empaneling in law is under KMPDC for now.
You know why I asked the question? Health is devolved.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, because it's devolved, when you talk about the disease burdens that people have across the country, they will differ.
Yes, definitely.
They are common diseases, but they will differ.
Definitely.
Now, it is these issues of diseases that take people to hospital.
Yes.
And the challenges that they meet or they reportedly meet are what now forms the basis of what we see in social media and everywhere else.
True.
A counter is always necessary. One,
yes,
from a position of communication.
Yes.
Because the hospital do not get the fallback.
Yes.
It comes back to SHA.
True.
Yeah, it is. SHA is not working. It's not that the hospital I went to had this problem. It is SHA is not working. And that is the reason why I'm addressing the question to you, because when anything goes wrong within a health system, the blame will fall squarely on the shoulders of SHA.
I agree with you 100% that we have become the carriers.
Yes, you are.
Of the whole health system.
Yes, you have.
All the burden.
Yes.
Of the health system.
Yes.
Even when nurse does not report to work.
Yes.
SHA does not work. Is true, but we need to address some of the issues which are policy related, but public also now will have a feedback mechanism to us on facilities that are mistreating them, so that now we have the power to take action against that facility. Either suspend them from providing services because of their transgressions as per the contract that we have, or find a way of improving service delivery. The next step we want to put up is a way of even identifying which hospitals we have contracted. Because at times also someone walks into a facility that we have not contracted, then says, I have SHA. Then he's told SHA does not work. Now,
instead of saying we are not contracted.
Thank you. Yes. Instead of the hospital saying we are not contracted by SHA, go to the nearest facility that has been contracted. But what do they say? SHA does not work here. So the person will go to social media and say, SHA does not work. But without realizing that they have gone to a facility. Same thing happens with PHC. Someone walks to a level 6 hospital and wants to get primary health care, outpatient treatment, while level 6 should be for referral. That you have been referred. So now when you are told PHC, you see, they will not tell you we are not being contracted for primary health care fund. They'll just tell you, no, outpatient, you have to pay. Then the person says, why? Then they're told, but your card doesn't work here. Then they say,
SHA doesn't
it's useless. I have contributed for a year and now I can't get services. I agree.
You see, every health facility,
yes,
at some point will send an invoice to SHA.
Yes.
Because essentially, it's a credit facility.
Yes.
They treat,
yes,
they invoice,
yes,
they're paid. When you're paying, an opportunity with a new system is an opportunity for data collection.
Yes.
Because it's a path that had not been trodden before. So all the things that are right, good, and then if you look at the diversity of our counties, hence the disease burdens and so forth, there's an opportunity to actually understand all these nuances and details, so that even you as the person who actually foots this bill, with the time you'll have a very, very clear idea and you'll have very, very clear patterns as to what you pay, how you pay it, why you pay it, and all these things. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because a system that is as robust as what you have told us SHA is not a system that is going to end tomorrow. If it is to serve people into posterity, then the foundation has to be an extremely solid one. So that when people talk about a reference point, you know. You say, why don't we look and see? And you know, this is what we're dealing with here. But if the opportunity to collect this data is missed now, there are very many things in the future you'll be grappling with it. But we had this a long time ago. But you never collected the data, you never archived it, so you do not have a reference point.
No, yes, definitely we are able to pick how the utilization is. Even now, 1 year down the line, I can tell you which county receives the highest amount of money, which hospitals receive the highest amount of money, which condition has the highest payout ratio, how many patients are on dialysis across the country, how many patients have cancer, how many patients, new ones, are being onboarded every now month on month, how many new Kenyans are registering daily, how many are paying their premium daily. So this is data that is available to us that we keep on looking at, and that's why that even that committee will have the numbers, and hence why I said when you go to that committee you will have to put in your numbers and say this is what we can cover. So even as we continue, we can see where the burden is, where the challenge is coming from, where the utilization is happening. So with the new branches now that we'll have, we'll be able to now pick facility by facility, address their concerns, pick Kenyans' complaints, put proper branding for each facility, which services that they have been contracted for by SHA, so that when you walk in as a patient, you can actually look at and say, oh, they have not been contracted for outpatient and I need outpatient services. So then you can either walk out or you can proceed, knowing fully well that this is what this facility has been contracted for. Yes, there is a lot, and as you said, this is not something that's going to end tomorrow. This is for posterity, and hence the reason why we just need to onboard every Kenyan. At the least, that primary health care is actually supposed to address 85% of our health needs. 85% of our health needs will be addressed by the primary health care. So then the question is, what you are now trying to grapple with is just the 15%. And the 15%, the best way is haba na haba ujaza kibaba. So you pay what you can, I pay, you pay, your house help pays, your gardener pays. Then we have a basket that is able now to take care of the country, all of us.
Daktari, you see, KRA has got, and I think something that you was mentioning earlier. For example, Kenya Revenue Authority, they usually do lots and lots of advertisement and information, infomercials. They will send via email. Ukiingia pale kwa email, unaona KRA na kukumbusha, by the way, file your taxes. Ukiingia kwa YouTube, for example, utakosa an advert or two of KRA, especially wakati wa neto nini yo kitu, tax returns. Has SHA come up with such kind of advertising or infotainment, infomercials, just to remind us that, guys, first of all, register with SHA. Then number two, these are the services under SHA. So that we don't have Mbuvi with a cold going to Kenyatta Hospital and then
say SHA does not work.
Do we have that kind of communication?
We have not yet put out.
Okay.
But do you have the plan to put it out? Yes. Are you for now limited by the transition? Yes.
Okay.
Once we are over, as I have told you, is we will be able to do all these things in terms of putting out all the necessary information. We try regularly to do through social media currently, but there is a lot more that needs campaigns that need to happen. There is education, and I can tell you, I see many people, including doctors, who still don't understand.
Actually, I knew a lot about, see all these things you're talking about, sijui referral hospital, level 1, 2, 3, zingine nimezijua nikuwa mtu mzima.
Exactly. So there is a lot of communication and education that needs to spread to the community level, which needs to happen. Yes, and it will happen. It's just that the time just a matter of time. Yes, City will tell me when. This time never comes.
No. Yeah.
Because it's 1 year down the line.
No, Dr. I'm not going to go to when.
Okay.
You are a very scary creature. Watu kila mtu anakuja hapa, City this.
I am not a scary creature.
You are not.
No. You see, let me ask a favorite question of mine. Okay? A system such as this one, don't wait for people along in the tooth like myself to start grappling with the details. It is something you should talk about students, whether it's at university level, TVET level, secondary school, so that as they grow, because they'll be of age,
yes,
and they're already dependents, so they're already in the system, so that it's something people grow up understanding. This is how this thing works. When they're now of age, the questions will be fewer, and because they will have understood the questions that arise are based on expectations, and those expectations are not necessarily based on what SHA stands for.
Okay.
They are based on what people expect.
So you are saying campus level education?
Yes. These fellows are soon going to go into the job market, and they're of age and they're adults.
Yes.
You want them. You see, part of the resistance is people feel, why am I paying for something and I don't know what I'm going to get? So these are things that are explained early, discussions had early, so that by the time they're paying, they have a fairly clear idea what it's about. If they don't have an idea, they'll oppose it even if it's good for them.
Yeah.
Actually, I agree with you, because most of the young people keep complaining about black tax. But the black tax they talk about is their parents. And one of the biggest needs of their parents is healthcare.
It's true.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's healthcare.
Yes, it
So
is.
you see, sometimes they don't connect that the need, because your parent can't get private health insurance because of pre-existing conditions or ages, all that.
And yet SHA could come to your aid.
Exactly.
It will reduce the black tax. Daktari,
Yes.
we have come to the end of the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Parting shot.
Please register *147#. Please pay Lipa Pole Pole. You have that option. You can pay daily, weekly, monthly. So it's better to just pay. Please update your dependents within the system, so that you don't run into trouble when you are at the hospital level. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
you.
Salam Zimfike Abdullahi Haji Bishar. I saw your comments. Thank you so much. Josegi as well. You're saying that you're watching from Meru County. Asante Sana. And we also have Gyoko Mwai. I see you as well. But this is where we come to a close, man. Let's meet again tomorrow. It will be the 11th day of November 2025. Until that time, hasta la vista.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. Social Health Authority Chairperson Abdi Mohammed has called on Kenyans to register themselves and their dependents to fully benefit from the government's new universal health coverage framework. Speaking during an interview on Radio Generation